Printing's fine by me.
Okay,
I think it's good. Yeah, great. I went to last year, I couldn't see it.
If you wanna go back there, Carol has a copy.
I do.
Go ahead.
What did I miss?
nothing you just started, because we're missing a sheet.
Okay. I was just wondering.
But I had the colors.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
We are moving into the work session, section 2. We had to review the minutes for February 24th, the joint meeting with capital planning and select board, as well as that. Did everybody read them?
I did.
I did.
They look good to me. I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. Any discussion? No, with no changes. Roll call vote is in the affirmative. Will approve the minutes for February 24th.
Sure. Dave Walker, yes.
Kathleen Swafford, yes.
Mary Jane Churchwell, yes. Carolyn Bazika, yes. Carol Hofstas, yes.
Okay, unanimous. We have received the minutes were approved and can be mailed to town clerk. Okay, and I didn't. Sorry, it's kind of like I'm moving on to item 2, the review and update recommendations for the special town meeting. I believe I had forwarded everything from Aaron. We did not get the motions, so we don't actually have anything additional to review. So it would be my thought that we just continue to
Defer that to the next.
well,
The meeting.
the meeting is the 19th, and if we don't have the motions, we can't. We thought maybe having the motions, we might have a little bit. We might change what our recommendation was to review it, but without additional information.
Are we gonna get them?
I believe they're out at town
Council, I think.
council. Yeah, is reviewing them. Once he's completed, then we can get a copy.
So we would have to have a meeting next week if we wanted to.
If we wanted to.
Depending on when they're ready.
Right.
It's like we're being frozen out.
We're not necessarily being frozen out. I thought they would be done because we were 2 days prior to the last meeting.
That's right, we talked about
And,
that, yeah.
and when I asked for them, they said they weren't done. So,
Every year's the same.
but
I just wish we would get them
Right.
24 hours in advance, because then we have a quick meeting. the night before.
right, yeah, sometimes we have, depending on the
It's a
size, but
little difficult for them to get them in advance, that's my question. Well, I know they have to do it every year.
right, and I
I
think,
understand that.
and I think in this
It's
case,
frustrating.
But they do it.
the and I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but the only change in the motion is going to be on the override for the police. So
You're gonna be changing the override amount,
yeah, it's going down by about 200,000.
because the new officer leaving?
No, this is because the school budget
Oh, that's school
The school budget.
School
the
budget.
school budget came in and decreased. Kieran has in the email, that's why I included it. Kieran has gone in and adjusted some lines.
Is that reflected on the recap sheet?
It should be, yeah. So if we look at this, we should see an override on one of the 2 recap sheets that did that.
So
Um,
how does the motion in the warrant articles related?
The warrant article tells you what you're going to discuss, and will generally have an outline of what the amount is going to be and how it's going to be either raised. Is it going to be free cash? Is it raised appropriate? The motion is the actual, this is how we're going to do it, and this is the exact amount.
So wouldn't they come together?
Well, at this point, you have to post the warrant 2 weeks before the meeting. So if something it's not a hard moment of time, but in that time, the school budget came in and was lower.
But so you think only, oh, I see, everything's affected by it.
Right. In this case, one of the items on the warrant is the override. So we had 300 and 95, 20, 75?
27,
Yeah.
I say 327, yeah,
Yeah.
327 is what the police one, yeah.
Right, that can be reduced by, pretty much by the amount of the school.
So it's, okay, so on basically on the fiscal 2027 budget now on the recap sheet, budget accounting for police override now says 197.
Correct. Yeah, that's,
But that's if override passes.
yeah, it's if the override.
Plus 87, plus 80,000 for the school resource officer, or is that going to be?
That's coming in from the school. The
Okay.
accounting changed.
So the override would become 197.
Let's back up a bit on that, because the town's expecting the 700,000 from the ambulance receipts. I want to pay for the bunker gear. And we said we would pay the bunker gear out of the ambulance receipts. So that would reduce the 700,000 by $135,000. Because it was approved last year, pay for the bunker, and they had no money.
Right.
And now you're another year into the gear, and the gear only has, I forget what it was 5 to 7 years or something. So it's getting towards the end of its life. And this is stuff that protects the planning. And I think it's important that we.
Well, does the ambulance bring in more than 700,000?
Does it?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Usually it is a little higher.
So they could use some of that extra money above the 700,000.
Well, as we transfer money out of there, we can't anticipate how much money would be coming in. You can, as you write your articles and things, you can only use the amount that's in the account at the time you prepare those. You can't anticipate that you're going to get another, say, $50,000 receipts. If people don't pay the bills, it doesn't come in. You don't have it. You can't build on something that's not solid like that.
But I thought the 700 was to cover the fire budget.
It parts of it, yes. It's not. I don't think it's the entire thing.
So it's not like the goodness of their heart, they're giving it to the town to balance the budget. They're actually funding their own.
They're funding their.
Yeah, towards the
Funding their own budget.
Way say it when we get down.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
why is
I know.
135 separate? We're saying, well, I'm not sure how the planning said that we approved, that we wanted that fire gear to be bought and
Ambulance receipt.
then take it up ambulance receipt. Take the town taking out the ambulance receipts or the fire department take it. The fire department pay for it using the ambulance receipt.
I think that's a good idea.
But if
But I don't know if that affects.
We don't know if
it affects the if it affects that $700,000.
yeah, so we.
I mean, if it doesn't, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's great,
Yeah.
but if it affects that 700,000, then.
They got a budget line in here. It's equipment.
That's the 20,000.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've gone over it all.
yeah, we were talking.
Well, the
We're talking about the warrant.
We were talking about the warrant. I don't know that we had recommended the article at the 327. So by reducing it, I don't think that impacts
anything.
our recommendation.
That was okay. The fire was on the water?
No.
No, the police, police was the override. So is it for sure that the police is gonna be reduced that
Well, that's
because of the school?
Well, I guess what you're saying is the amount that the police, the amount that the override needs to be to cover the police contract that we wanted to do has been reduced by the amount that the school came in under what we thought they were going to be.
right. So we still need an override to fund the police contract. But
Because
that number is
the school was able to bring their increase for next year down to 2% rather than what we thought.
So the police answer 397, right?
Right.
Whatever.
327.
No, the police asked for a certain amount of money, and the override amount required to complete the police request was 397. But that was based in the context of the overall budget. Well, it is separate, just his, but
And
we're
it
saying
reflects to the budget.
because the school budget reduced, the amount that we have coming in has increased by that. We can take that extra and apply it to the police now.
And take that extra and
Apply it to the police part of the budget. So now we don't need as much override to complete the request to fund the police contract.
I got stuck with, it didn't have to be the police, it could have been something else.
It could have been
fire,
right.
it could have been hiring person, it could have been anything.
It could have been anything, but.
All right, I get it.
The idea is.
And
to
the
try to
secret-
reduce-
What does it matter?
Well, I think he's good with it because it gets him the amount of money he was asking for overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, today.
He would be.
It still, it still gets him, right, it still gets him the money he was asking for. But now we don't have to have as high an override to achieve that. Because the school was able to tighten their belts a little bit more.
Didn't they get more money?
I don't know, maybe they got more money from somewhere else, they don't need as much from us, maybe that's what they
There was-
did, I
I
don't
was
know.
gonna say, there was a supplemental budget that amount that came in.
So where does that budget come in at now for?
The schools,
For, percentage wise, so what do they,
I think it's, so we,
is it 2.4?
yeah, so let's finish, let's
All right.
let's finish up on the.
And there,
If everybody's okay with just going with our recommendations that we had previously made.
yeah, I think if we don't have the motions, then we can't, I don't see a need to change our recommendation.
Because
Because there were several that we did say not gonna make a or we're gonna recommend no, because we didn't have enough information.
Yeah.
And we've been given nothing to
Change it.
change that.
So it's still.
So it'll still be no on the ones that we said no to.
So our recommendations. will
Now,
stand
do I
the
have
same
a
way.
question? Can they add new motion?
No.
No, it's gotta be this.
It's gotta be,
The amounts in it.
Can change, I understand that, but
Right.
the actual motion can't,
no,
can't add or subtract.
they can't.
It has to stay within the scope.
Of the warrant article. So
Yes.
you can't introduce, you can't say, I had a warrant article, let's replace the whole lines. If it was about the school, and make it about the police.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but-
John, I have a question about this. Where is it? So we get so much from restaurant food tax and something. Where is that on here?
If we don't have the details, and we've asked them, we'll see if we can get them. That is gonna be under the, bottom half of the page under the total amounts to be raised is how much we need for the budget and all the others. Underneath you have local estimated receipts.
Yep.
And within that total, for FY 27, it's gonna be 2,151,300. That includes the meals tax, excise tax.
Okay, so it's included in there.
It's included in there, but we have asked for the breakdowns of each of the revenue sources.
Mhm.
Well, what is the tax now on meal tax? Do they go up or they stay the same?
They stayed the same over the last year. They had something called the Municipalities Empowerment Act. I don't think that it's gone for the last 3 years in the conference, but it's never been passed. So I haven't seen it come out where we could change.
That's something that allows us as a town to see if we're gonna, in addition, to see if we can drive more businesses out of town.
Right.
It's kind of like, there's quite a few things. There's a lot of things that, contracts that were limited to 3 years can be extended to 5 years with this. So it was trying to reduce paperwork. It was trying to do retention. So if you had a town administrator and you could only do a 3-year contract, now you can do a 5-year contract and keep somebody for 5 years. That sort of thing. So
When did that change? What, 5 years?
I mean, so you say it hasn't yet, because they haven't passed
they haven't passed the bill. it's not in place yet. Kind of like, so but that's the piece of it. It's kind of like, it's hanging over there, everybody's head to, there's a lot of push behind it, but so far I haven't seen. Yeah, from session to session, so each session they have to bring it up, give it a new bill number and push it on. Okay, so, just jumping back to, so we're making no changes to our recommendations because we had no additional information that would impact anything. So we thought the delay might do that for us. Okay, so we can move on to department budget reviews, or we can start with one of it is the department reviews do come up and populate onto the recap sheet that's on the top. So if you want to talk recap, you can see the we can do that, or we can.
Right, so that's the operating budget, right? At top, that first line, 11,518, that's the sum of the recap.
That's the sum of
Right.
the operating budget. The very top line, operating budget, general fund. That is all of the town operations, not the schools. So,
Right.
It's a town.
That's the town. That's
The 15,606 is
it's everything within general government.
No,
11,518.
Oh, I see, I'm looking
Yeah.
at appropriations.
And then you see the school and the tech, okay.
Right.
Okay, so this is the town.
And the school and the tech includes the assessment plus the 2.5 override, or the exemptions to 2.5 for the buildings. So that's not just the assessment. That is the assessment with the building override attached to it. So it turns into 2 lines in the full omnibus for each school.
Oh, okay.
So 28,745,348.
That is the fiscal year 27 budget from the omnibus budget. Then going down, we have the annual town meeting articles. Right now, there's nothing in here, so they are meeting about some of that now. They'll generate the annual town meeting articles, so that may change if there's more money that needs to be required for that when they generate them. The Article 10, the TCAM payment. And just so we know, if we want to tie it, if you go down under receipts, the item that says transfer from pay access, the 166,491 matches that TCAM.
okay,
So it's fully funded.
basically balances out.
It's a net zero because that's the transfer from pay access is Comcast paying us, and then we transfer to TCAM. It doesn't necessarily all transfer at once. I believe they do it quarterly, so that's why you'll see things on special town meetings and as well as the town meeting. It may change. I haven't seen the new contract yet. I believe the new contract was signed in December of this year for another 10 years with Comcast. So just as an aside to,
And then the overlay, what is that?
okay.
What does that mean?
Okay. Okay, so we're into other amounts to be raised. The overlay is the amount the assessor puts and holds aside as to saying that's going to be if people file for abatements and things. That's a pool of money that we're not going to get in taxes, even though we expect it to be.
Okay, so if I file an appeal on my tax rate, this money's meant to cover that.
Correct.
Does it help cover the veterans?
Okay, so that is the piece where I have a question because we didn't necessarily do it properly. Yes, and it is also veterans. So the veterans had an exemption last year.
Yeah.
In an annual town meeting, we passed the HERO Act at the full 100%. And you'll see if you go to the FY26 budget, there's 85,000 on that line. It should.
75.
I think that's 85.
75, oh, where is it?
Let's say let's say it's 75. We'll go back and.
Okay, but
Where is it?
you're saying that's not included in the.
Should be. So I would expect that to be 195.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, right here?
Right.
It's here, it's 75,000.
Right. So we voted the increase last year, which made us 195 in the overlay last year. I think they should have carried without the old, and the reason the Hero Act was here, it was a warrant article last year. It had not been approved, so we were accounting for it
Oh.
in case it happened. It did happen, we passed it, and so I think that number,
Well, should that not, is
She
that?
is, you know, everybody-
I think it's 85, we need to go back and look at.
Check this.
Yeah.
So should that be,
Throw that all out.
Yeah, well, shouldn't that be over there on the last column then?
Like, because we passed the Hero Act, I mean,
You say you should now go into the current year overlay number.
right, yeah, so I think,
oh, down below here.
right, so this,
So it should be 75, 50 and.
No,
Okay, so that 75 doesn't get carried over, it goes up into the 120.
it should, I think that should be 190.
But it still throws the whole bit thing
Well,
off.
if that's,
yes,
Like 75.
Right.
well, if it's 85, then the 120 should be 130, right?
205.
It should be
Where's
205.
Oh, where?
Well, the 80
120 and 85 is 205.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't put me in front of
and so for the snow and ice deficit, that's what they're currently projecting us,
Third one down.
or wait, is the 20,
Okay, sorry, it's kind of,
Okay.
okay, well, so we'll finish with it, so we're done with, the overlay line?
in the Hero Act, just so that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question for,
For the 75,
For the
it
TA.
should be 85.
and what the total is, and should we,
Should it be,
overlay?
should the overlay, is it possible that they didn't increase the overlay because the 120,000 wasn't used last year? Could that be what it was? That, no, I'm saying last year we budgeted 120,000 in tax abatements, basically.
Right.
What if,
It didn't get
what if nobody got approved? I mean, that 120,000 doesn't need to be raised. If you appealed your taxes and you got denied, well, that doesn't get used.
But
So,
That would go back into free cash?
it might go back into free cash, but because it's in the FY 26 budget, we don't get that free cash until.
Right, what I'm saying is that let's say they only did 30,000 more, right? So we've got 90,000 that's not used. Well, that 90,000 would absorb the 75 or 85.
I understand where you're coming from. So instead of increasing and making 195, you're saying it was 45 from last year and 75 for Hero.
Maybe, I'm saying, if we budgeted for 120, but if only so much got used, maybe they determine, well, I don't need to add 75 to 120. Maybe 120 is enough to cover
Or maybe
both
something else.
categories.
Maybe, okay.
I think if you look at the prior years through there,
There-
for that, the, 135, 116, 115, those are
Right.
probably more
Those are probably accurate numbers for what was actually given in those years.
in that year, because it's not around them. So again, that's,
Yeah.
So
But-
if it's consistent, then it's pretty close to 100.
Right.
Yeah.
But who decides on, if I appeal my tax rate, who decides on my appeal? Does it go to the state? Does the state do that?
assessor.
In town.
So we have the assessor's office that handles the day-to-day
Yeah.
operations, but there is a board of assessors, three people, that review. the
So I mean,
abatements.
that should have, 2026 abatements should have already been decided. So we should know what the actual number is for 2026,
Yep, we can ask Vicky.
Yeah, you should.
right? So we should be able to at least get what that number was and be able to say, is that,
Is
I don't know though, will they? Because
it's April.
excise tax just went,
Oh, right, it's April.
and people will get their excise tax bills, but they no longer have their car, and they go, oh, I forgot to do that, and bring it in, and so.
okay, so that includes property, that
That's
includes,
business abatements.
Yeah,
Okay.
excise tax, property.
okay, so they wouldn't necessarily have a final number, but they should have property tax.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they should be,
I mean, I'm trying to think, I just did the CPA one. It said that once you get the final bill, which came out in December, you have
Maybe
30
it did
90
that.
days or April 1st, till April 1st
to appeal.
to file your.
Okay, so even though I was paying my property taxes last year in August,
This is where.
and October, those are estimated bills. And if I don't know if I appeal then, I file the appeal in December once I get the next one.
So when you get the final.
And then I just paid the second to last one, so that means if I win my appeal, it would reflect in my final payment
Correct.
due this month or next month or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't know the numbers yet
They
for
don't know
2020.
the numbers yet, but we're still
Okay,
in that budget, so it's kind of, but yes, very good for
Okay.
picking up on that one. The snow and ice deficit right now is.
Oh, that's not coming.
Well, and it's.
the 2026 line, he's saying at the moment, he believes we're at a 291.
No, that's what we did, that's what.
That's what we did last year, to cover last year's.
Correct.
No,
That
291.
that was FY 25 number deficit, the 291 was
Yeah.
last year.
Okay, so we cover that in the next fiscal year, essentially.
50.
We cover-
When we had, the free cash that we had.
Okay, so right now, he's estimating that we're gonna be 350,000 in the whole this year.
Yeah,
Which makes sense because we've had a lot more snow this year, so I can believe that it would be higher. Because I think last year in the budget, we basically kept it level.
Well,
We-
is
we level
the
funded.
350 total number? Because we budgeted what, 219 or something?
Yeah.
we,
I think the 350 is how much they're,
they're
how much they're owed.
Oh, at this point.
Right,
Well, that's what he's guessing we're gonna wind up being. Last year,
Are you
we,
sure that this isn't what they're gonna try to budget for?
no, this is
No, it
this
can't
is
be,
strictly, this is
because
strictly
the
the,
budget was what was it, what meeting we were at, they budgeted like 261.
right,
And then they was, maybe it was a capital planning meeting, and then they said, if we only get 2 more snowstorms, then the budget's probably gonna go to 400. Then it was gonna go to 450,
Oh.
so I think that 350 number is
It-
correct.
It's
Is correct.
the 350 is definitely the override. The number that he had given us through Wednesday of this week was 314.
Yeah.
And then we had the storm on Friday.
So
Um,
I think this is an accurate
So this
number.
is trying to, that's barring,
and
and I keep on throwing out the April Fool's storm, the Mother's Day storm that we had in 77. It's my history.
well, we've had April storms since I lived here in 2000.
We had a storm in May,
Don't get me
years
that.
ago, like years and years ago.
77, I was working in Burbank, Hustle, and they couldn't get up the hill.
Because I had just planted trees and they were all in full bloom, we were out there shaking the snow.
So the
They didn't die.
highway snow and ice budget is on lines 551, if that's easier to find.
Okay.
And so in here, we can see what the FY 6 budget is.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically been static
Right,
for
for the last two.
for the last several years. I mean, it actually went down, okay, because last year it went down. Or did it approve? No, I guess it approved at 241, but it stayed static at 241 since 24, since FY 20.
Yeah, that's weird that it went down in FY. Oh,
No, that was-
right, that was,
Right.
that's a line, maybe I should have hit that. That one didn't go through. Yep, so 240,
We're at 61. How come?
Where are you?
okay, so line 559.
Oh, 559, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total, just looking at the total.
Okay.
So are we looking at the 307 or the 245? Or the 252?
Well, so it looks like the highway department submitted 252 and the TA, the administrator saying, well, that's kind of unrealistic, we should move it up to 307.
And what's the other with 1.04%?
That,
I think he's showing that as an alternate possibility that says, well, if we just add 1% to last year's number, then we get to 245.
So that column is telling you what to use with the, back to the getting the number.
Well, that column he's saying, if we do FY 27, the 1.0% increase over last year,
For every item on that column?
I think so.
Right, yeah, those would be
And I think some of them he's not putting in
any increase.
any increase. Some of them, I'm not sure. We'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them have no changes. Some of them have.
I'd say go with the TA proposed column.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is where he's going. So what, the intent is,
But it's a review on that, eh?
I mean, and that's a,
Right, but that's also what statutorily is saying. That's the only line item that we can purposely under budget.
Right.
Because if there's no snow next year, we've got $307,000 that basically has to sit there and has to wait till next year to go into free cash. And we're saying we'd rather use free cash to make it up than to generate free cash that we can't touch for.
a little bit of that, but part of it is the other part in the increase for me is the fact that we are in FY 26 and we saw the BVA at the end of December and we're running about 100% of budget to this point. So if we have 100% of our budget used, there's not going to be free cash to do that for next year. So that's something that is on the radar to make.
Don't always ask them that.
We generally do, yeah.
But if they don't allow increases and the expenses go up, but your line item doesn't go up, you're not gonna have
Well,
free cash.
Right, and
Just the cost of paper alone.
Right.
Just for office supplies, you're not gonna have anything.
right, that's the thing, it's kind of like we cut a lot of lines, trimmed a lot of lines,
Last year.
No increases.
last year. So when you look at what we trimmed and what we cut up, and it was because the override failed, it was what, about 250,000? So if you take 250 off the 557 we just got, you get 250,000 of free cash next year. So the budget's gonna be tight as we close out the year, so that's key.
Is this the final?
This is as of today, if you look, in the top, it says the legend, green means go, confirmed, yellow means working, red is a halt, and more to come. Because I did black and white to try to keep the printing down.
That's useless.
It makes it difficult to look at these lines, but, Carol did print, and if we have a question about what colors,
Here,
So what color is what, Carol?
okay, red is, red is like, I'm not really, I'm not seeing like green. See, there's a lot of.
But he was asking about the
You did the
recap.
whole thing.
On the recap sheet.
Recap sheet is, okay, that's the same. Recap sheet is the same.
Yep.
So I'm still not seeing a lot of green on the recap sheet.
okay, yeah,
It's you, a lot of yellow.
but that tells you where we are, yeah.
So yellow leads working number.
So the snow and ice deficit of 350, is that a yellow?
Middle that to be raised.
350.
Yep.
That's kind of a yellow. It looks like
Yeah,
a yellow.
looks like yellow.
Okay.
Looks like you're gonna need
I've got a printer color.
So that means that's his estimate at this time,
it's an estimate at this time based on the storms.
based on the storms that we've had and
And
preparing the fact that we may have people
yeah,
soon.
And actually, I don't see anything green. So it's always
The darker one is the red. Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
if we look at school assessments, the 15606.
Yes.
Up here, yeah, top, is that a red?
the school assessment. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so the shades of gray can sort of tell you.
But then you say that number was different and it just came in to move it to the 15606? Well, maybe that number was read before
It
Might
could be.
be.
and then he changed it, but we didn't necessarily change it changes color.
It's this, the number here, is the wrong one. I did check that.
Okay,
So it's kind of like, so the number in this sheet is matching with the on
that's in the other. Okay. That's good. Where does that number show up in the bus? Beginning or the end?
Middle-ish,
Oh, Minish.
after general government. And after product safety, after safety. Education is line 503 to 510. If you, I think it's 503 to 510.
Okay.
So if we look at those numbers that we have in the FY 27 line, is 14,037 plus the 1,256,000 for the school building.
Okay, I think it's the 16 cents.
16.
That's 1749. Oh, that's because of that.
Okay, yeah, that gets you to 14,606.
15 cents.
You're right.
I'm
Sorry.
with that.
Okay,
Can't be either, because mine says 17,459.
Yeah.
Did you say 17,459, Carol?
Well, if you
Yeah,
go,
well, if that's what they
I'm looking
want,
at 56.
that's,
Yeah, so, sorry, I was in the wrong column.
so,
Which column?
We're looking for FY 27 TA proposed.
and that's
it's a dark column.
17,227,307.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the total for the, that's both schools.
That's what,
Yeah.
okay, so if we go up for Las Vegas, it's 14 plus 1 plus 1.
Yeah. So that's 15, 5, 6, 606. So,
Oh, whatever number you said.
so the 15,606 on those two lines matches the 15,606.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So
Okay.
lines 504 and 505.
Well, Las Vegas.
Yeah. And that's under the FY 27 TA proposed.
Yeah.
So, and Dave will double check us.
Why did he bump it up? Oh, no, he bumped it up.
Well, he's got the other one with the 1.4% increase.
So they choose to price, it's an increase, that's it. There's no reason.
He's proposing the proposed column is what he.
15
So then I
cents.
think he also
And then the other two-
did with that.
The other two lines add up to the 1.62.
Right.
I'm not sure.
So the TA,
Yeah, what was the explanation for doing this column, the FY 27 with 1.04%? And what was the rationale for?
I think he would, I think that one was trying to,
I mean, was that 1.04% based on something, like some?
I'm sure.
well,
Is it like a
I think it is probably, well, the school was gonna be looking for 3.5%, so if we limited the rest of the budget to 104. So that was,
So it's an imaginary number.
it's an imaginary number trying to balance a budget,
Based on what the
based on what the schools.
increase was gonna be, okay, all right,
And then come back to the rest of
I
it.
can get that. So we pretty much don't have
Why
to
didn't
pay,
you just give us one call?
yeah, I know, it's
But
confusing.
that's why I think, yeah, it's kind of like, I gave everything that was in the file.
I know.
You know,
Are they having a meeting upstairs?
They are.
Okay, so that's why he's up.
Right, and Kieran did tell me he was gonna try to come down, so.
Okay.
But anyway, so we should just look at the TA proposed column,
Not look at the 104.
Well, yep.
at least for now.
For now, yep. Yep, if we have any questions.
We just have one call.
We can hide the other, we can.
You don't hide anything?
Put your hand over it. Put your hand over it.
Yeah, and if you have trouble staying, I did bring a couple of rulers if you wanna put a ruler on here, all things are fine.
This one's great.
Oh, yeah, it was, not as many columns.
Okay, so back to the snow and ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were thinking we're gonna be up to 350 at the end of this year, possibly.
Over the budget.
Over what's budgeted.
But that's okay, we're allowed to do that.
we're allowed to do that, and what you're expressing your concern of is, well, if we keep letting that go to be such a high number, we may eventually run out of free cash in order to pay that. And then we're kind of still stuck in, now what the hell do we do?
Right.
I mean, our free cash will be released next year.
Correct.
So is this paid with free cash from next year, or is this paid with the free cash that's certified this year?
This is from the FY 25 free cash certification that we got in January.
How much does that?
That was like 557, 558.
Okay, so the 350, we're at least, assuming the 350 number is accurate, let's just say, okay, the 350 number is accurate.
So
Then we have the money to cover that.
we want to see a free cash deduction.
Yeah.
We'll see that, we'll deduct that from free cash. And what-
38 minus 350.
Right.
Now, that's what.
And what you're kind of expressing concern with is the fact that our budget is not really going up much, if at all. Your concern is that at the end of this fiscal year, our free cash will not be 550, our free cash may be 200. In which case, if our snow and ice deficit is 350,000 again next year, now we do not have the free cash to cover it. And now we're gonna have to say, now what do we do?
But the question is, I understand what you're saying. And that goes back to my question, is it a strategy that we bump up things and then want free cash at the end? I mean,
It
and
depends.
to me it would be, if it's good, it's good. But you're saying it can't be because of the snow and ice. Snow and ice always skews it, but all the snow and ice, it's okay to be old, but there would be no free cash.
Then you have to find that becomes a bill you have to pay in the next fiscal year.
Well, is there any other
Well,
way
that
that
makes
you
sense.
can, is there any
So,
other way that you can deal with it?
This, you,
Well, we need to cut down the budget just a
if you
little bit. I
we
mean,
need a
that's-
station fund, maybe? That,
Oh, that's what he was talking about, that fund? The
no,
tax-
that was for legal.
yeah.
No, it's kind of like all reserve fund, so you could, much as we do, we have a reserve fund, finance committee, we could have a snow.
So
You have to come up and have an article and do an override if you can't cover it in the budget.
So there is. So in the proposed budget that he's looking at, there is an increase from 241 to 307. So we did increase the budget by 60,000.
Now, and the key on that one is if you, let's say we went to 500,000, but we only used 450, you can't ever go down. You always have to keep
Right.
at that level. That's,
Oh, okay, so.
It's a huge.
No, because even more to the point is, if we budget 307,
Mhm.
and we have an extremely mild winter and we only use 150,
that has to wait.
that has to be free cash, and you're saying next year's budget can't go below 307. That's why this-
You don't, but that's why you want to run at the deficit and not go over, so that you're not holding that much money hostage, waiting, hoping you get and use it. So it's kind of, that's the balance we're trying to hit. So we really don't want too high, but 350 is kind of high this year, and that's.
So you're saying next year we can't go below 350?
No,
No.
next year we can't go below what we budgeted this year, which was, I think, the final was 241 or
241.
242.
So, that was back in
That was mine, hold on.
with the,
Line 559. So if you look at line 559, in all the previous years, it's been at 241, 241, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And it was at 241 last year with the approved budget. And so what Don is saying is we cannot go below 241 overall.
that was, if that was gonna be, if it was.
If there was no, if
That was.
the original override cut proposal.
Okay, so 241. And we're bumping it up to
307.
307.
So the department request was for 252, but he's put in 307 in there.
Do we want to do that?
I think we do, based, if we go up historically,
Yeah,
the 242, the least amount of money that we put in is, I think it was 121 on top of it.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, so that's.
so that's, okay.
So-
And this year we had a real spike in the cost of salt.
Second year in a row. Yeah.
So what you're saying, there should be a stabilization fund for some.
Well, like a reserve fund.
No, I should do it.
He's saying if your free cash can't meet it.
Right, if you don't,
Shouldn't we be hedging it in the event that it can't meet it?
we need to consider it, yeah.
So how do we know what the actuals were that was spent for snow and ice? Because this just shows what was budgeted.
Right, so we need to go, we can follow on the recap
On the
sheet,
recap sheet.
how much,
Oh, right, okay.
so it's going to be the budgeted.
So 2023, we were over by 198,928.
Okay, good.
2024, we were over 262.
Yeah.
And then 2025, we were over 181.
So
In 2026, we were over by 291.
But that's this year.
No,
No,
that
that was the year ending in.
was the FY 25.
So, I just want to get this cleared up.
Okay, yeah,
So- We've got the money back in free cash. And we do snow and ice first and then to whoever else needs it.
pretty much, I mean, you can see the big need is the recap, is snow and ice, and
Well, and last year that didn't happen.
just pick this.
You remember last year at the special town meeting, they made that 200,000 whatever request for the school from free cash.
Right.
That got approved, and that caused us, because we had the
We had to
the
dig
291, we did not have enough free cash to cover that. We had to take some money from, I think we took it from the stabilization reserve.
Yeah.
So we had to take some money from reserve fund last year because we did not have a free cash because we committed free cash to the school.
Right,
Yeah.
Kim in.
So, yeah, we had an estimate in March, and we said that, you know, there was.
I mean, it has to be in March, but we didn't have the final
So
number.
that would be that.
We
Right.
when I changed that, so there was no more free cash, so we had to find it somewhere. And luckily, it was only about 16,000, so there was enough in the reserve fund. Because that's really not something, this reserve fund. Okay, so
So we're gonna spending.
we're gonna spend,
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
I have a question.
yeah, there's lots of questions. We'll get back to this. Because we are at 7:00. And recreation is here. Apologize, I have to put my distance fences in. See everybody in. Okay, does anybody want to come up to the table? We'll make room, or you're gonna? That's fine. Then we'll call it GP. Hey, you have a form?
Yeah, we're all here. I mean,
Then.
we're all, my best, thanks, Kathy. Almost over. Yeah. Oh, yeah, spread out all over. Okay. Yeah, I think all.
Okay, so. Okay, at this point, we're gonna be a joint meeting with, Recreation Commission, so if it's point, I'd like to call a, joint meeting to order with, recreation, and so we need to do a roll call again for that.
You're calling FinCom or recreation?
We have FinCom and then recreation as well. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I want to go first.
Carol
Yeah.
Constance, present.
Gerald Jacobs present.
Mayor Jane Churchville present.
Kathleen Spofford, present.
David Walker present. Dave Greenfield.
He's present. That is the entire finance committee. We have a quorum. We are good to continue. We're going into the last, the discuss of the finance committee meeting that nobody is recording this meeting. Other than the staff.
Okay, so we can call to order the recreation meeting
Okay.
within the joint
Yeah.
meeting on March 10th at
It's like 7:03.
7-ish, 7:03 p.m.
Close enough.
Right on.
Can I second? All in favor? Aye. So we'll do a roll call as well. I'm Rachel Palmer. Liz Sears.
Matthew Evans.
And that is the recreation board as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, before we get really started, the first one here for the request for approval, it's in relation to that, it's no longer relevant really. Since the agenda was filed, Mary Jane has given us the resignation from the recreation committee effective 3/6. However, given the nature of the recent resignation and the specific reference to finance committee and recreation, we request, the recreation wishes to state for the record that we formally request that Ms. Churchville recluse herself from any discussions, deliberations, votes in which recreation is discussed, are under consideration. Just because just the resignation, the time and fashion of it doesn't really alleviate any of the conflict of interest. I think it's just about being transparent for people outside of this room as well, that there's a separation, kind of safeguarding both boards.
Is there anything that you see that would be a conflict?
I think it's more that as being part of the board for the past year, going forward, just so that we're being transparent to anyone in the community, everyone else, so there isn't deemed any conflict of interest.
Okay, I can't see what I'm having.
It's about safeguarding.
I don't see any conflict of interest because I represent the town taxpayers in both capacities, and your meetings are public. So I don't know anything secret. So I don't see where.
I think it's just a.
So I don't see a transparency issue. And if it's in the minds of the people, so be it. The facts are the facts.
But yeah, I don't know if there's, I mean, the question we have that we needed to deal with that we didn't have when we were looking to make the recommendation for the exemption for hiring freeze, which is what this is about.
Yep.
We didn't have any background information as we had with the other departments that we did. This is questions about what the hiring is and what the recommendation is going to be for hiring. We have questions how, you know,
That's fine.
we don't
Yeah.
see it in the past, so I don't know if there's.
If that doesn't want to be granted, that's absolutely fine. It's just something that we wanted to have.
We brought up, I don't think, yeah, I don't think there's really a conflict with, you know, it's information gathering for the recommendation.
So hiring freeze exemption request for recreation program support staff. We are asking that we're able to continue and be given an exemption for the program support staff.
But that's open-ended. What we had is very clear parameters from the other departments, and that's what we'd like to see. How many people at what level and to cover what.
You have that now. Yeah.
At least that's mine. If anybody else has any questions, but that's.
Well, this one, I got two. That's all. That's. There you go. I don't want you to waste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you. Yes.
No, it's in there.
Very good. With this, you know, with this.
What's the nice amnesty for the
And I'm a soldier.
Primarily, we're looking for the number and types of positions to be filled. That's number 2 on page 2. That was
Correct.
the first one.
Yes, that was.
The 12 to 17.
It's.
What kind of things were in the other program expenses? Because we had some in 23, not in 24, and 25.
So good, like, expenses, things like if we had a, entity come in that's just for that specific, like, face painting, or we had, a specific, very specific to just summer recreation versus funny crayons that you can use for multiple.
So it would be like BMX and the
Right.
other
Very specific, and some of them are in there, but
track rodeo.
they may not, they just may not be in there, but yes.
Okay.
The program, yeah, specific program expenses are the ones that are just very specific to that summer program.
Okay.
Might not have been on my final copy.
There's a freeze just for the summer, the exemption just for the summer staff, which is all for,
At this point, I would say summer.
well, let's be, clear. Is it just for the summer or do you want the whole, Wait, they're not,
They're still, most of them, are still on the right word for it, the rules, yeah. So they're already,
some of them being the, forgive me, you know that I'm not the brightest bulb. So with some of them being the summer people.
we call them program
Yeah.
staff. We call them program staff. They might be used in different, I don't want to specify all of them as summer staff.
Okay.
Because there are some that roll into different programming. But more to the point of, we just want to make sure that we're able to kind of recommission them back in and get them
And
back
then
on the
right
table.
now, and those are the only ones you want?
No, it says right here, we're looking to do between 12 and 17, depending on numbers. Let me just make sure I'm telling you exactly, right? We broke it down. It looks like there's 2 supervision operations, 2 activity leads, and between 8 and 10 general program counselors.
Okay, and
We have approximately 8 that are already on the rolls that we believe will be returning. So that would be separate from that.
And it only mentions from 2025. Do you have staff from 2024 also?
Returning staff?
Yeah, you're returning staff.
Yeah, some of those are just continuing rolling for years, yeah.
Right, so are they registered? They are what considered, permanent seasonal, and anybody that's more than 2 years has to be certified by the state.
I don't know anything about that. That's
Okay, that I think is a requirement that the state, anybody,
something
any permanent.
I'll just tell you about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
They need to be registered with the state. There's legal wise that you can't hire part-time people,
Yeah.
seasonal, or you can't have them,
Sure.
yeah. In this case, registered with the state, because
No problem. Thank you.
it's ways of getting payroll and benefits and things, and so as that work happens, they have to.
So are you saying that you've got 8, let's say 8 returning staff?
Give or take, yeah.
Are you saying you need 12 to 17 over and above that, or is that dedicated for the age part?
That is part of it
Right.
because they're permanent seasonal.
We have a lot of kids.
But the permanent seasonal, they're not an employee year round.
Right.
They're only an employee during that seasonal period that they're hired. And
But
so,
that's not what they're saying though. They're saying they weren't all year round.
no, I think, you've got staff in doing programs right now.
What do you have for staff now?
Yeah,
You know,
hiring freeze.
This was in relation to, yeah,
So this,
what do you have to?
currently, on the current active role, I'm gonna refer to Emmy for that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And they're not full-time.
right,
I have 5.
Five.
I have 5.
Will they all be returning for?
4 of them. And then I've got some college students that are coming back.
That's a.
And now there are some. Some,
Just for summer.
right, just for summer.
Have you sent out your flyers yet or?
No, we
We
can't.
can't because unfortunately, we're a little behind this year right now because we've been waiting for this. We wanted to do this properly with you guys.
There's a couple of steps that you have to take when they have recurring people that are coming back, right?
Yeah, I'll do that with Callie.
Right. yeah, that's it. And it's not just a 1 year, it's the 2-year period,
Okay.
right? Because it,
So we can highlight who that actually covers.
like I say, that's just a.
But they have to meet their regular routine anyway, as far as their physical stories and all
Right,
that.
yeah, they're,
Yeah, because we work with kids.
okay,
We have to.
So, this is what I don't understand. So they need 17 people. That's a minor,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So they don't know who's coming and who's not coming. So if they get 17 people and we give them an exemption, and then somebody leaves and another person comes in, what happens?
They, you'll see that on another part of our agenda, that the exemption has to be redone when a position leaves, it becomes empty. And if the hiring freeze is on, in order to hire it, select board and finance committee have been tasked with going through the steps of, doing the exemption.
Basically, we'd have to reauthorize.
We have to.
We'd have to come back to you and say we need a different number.
Every time parks get around it.
I suspect they will be coming in because we didn't see them. They didn't submit their requests. Unless they were already posted and filled, I don't know. It's kind of like cemetery and parks did not have it, but they have, seasonal.
Okay, so last year when we talked about positions, and I understand that they were, positions that were, labor. They were left open. In other words, somebody left and we left a blank space and we said
Right.
whoever comes in gets that money.
Okay.
Can't the recreation department do something like that so that they're not subjected to coming back every time somebody comes and goes and all that business?
Well,
Can you follow what I'm
I have a
saying?
question in relation to that, but you go ahead.
they could, except for the fact that we just instituted a hiring freeze.
Which means when an
Which
position
means-
opens, it's frozen.
That's different. That
I'm
would-
asking if you get around that.
Yeah, with the
Then-
recommendation.
Did you, last year, you know, who was it? This big Harper girl, remember? Not the one that's here.
And
And we left it,
Regularly.
yeah, and we left the spot open. So
Well, we didn't-
we didn't have a hiring.
We didn't have a hiring freeze.
Do I have a question though, in relation to what Mary Jane's saying? So if we were to move forward with this and you were to say, okay, for that, 12 to 17, that would be an open space for us to then fill. So we would have to just stick to that parameter, wouldn't we?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear on that, yeah.
And basically, the 12 to 17 number,
It's really.
I think that we're okay to move forward with that. I think
so
that.
the 12 to 17 number will depend on how many people total actually register.
Absolutely, and we will not hire more than we need.
Yeah.
We're always kind of,
Right, so
we just want to make sure we can balance the safety and numbers, and that is being
many
What
did
is
we
your-
get last year?
Let me check.
14.
14.
I think we had 14.
Yeah, with 89 children.
You obviously have a
But they-
minimum number of students per,
Just in
Can we listen to Sam?
minimum number of students per, person.
Average.
Yeah, but I'm
That-
saying,
that the question-
Oh.
what number would I go for the second one?
It's
In
fine.
other words, that you get 5 people, or say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, if 15 person comes in
It's fine.
in your class, then you've gotta go for another instructor,
So 8 up to 6.
or whatever you wanna call it.
From 6 to 12 is now.
Can you say that louder?
So-
Yeah.
So for kindergarten, it's 5 to 1. So 5 kids to 1 staff. Above that, it's 10 to 1. So it's 10 students to 1 staff.
And we.
So above kindergarten.
Six students in the kindergarten class. You have to get 2 people.
Yes.
But we have it in bigger age brackets too, though.
But it says the average daily attendance is 28.
Yes.
So if you have 14 staff.
Not everyone would be on shift every day. They work different days, like depending on the number and the demand, we make sure the numbers are safe. They're not all like a full-time position, say.
Okay.
It's just to make sure that we can, no,
No,
they're
yeah.
rota,
So you have 90, so you have 89 kids and each one
they're not
kid
there
says,
every single
I'm
day.
gonna be here for Tuesday and Thursday. Another
Yeah.
kid says, I'm gonna come Monday and Wednesday or whatever, and you know that ahead of time, what days kids are planning to do.
Absolutely. And
We
that's
try to know ahead of time.
we do ask at least 48-hour notice. It doesn't happen all that way,
Okay.
but we try and get, because we
So
have to make sure our
it's
numbers
not
are,
fully scheduled, like you don't tell the parents, you're only allowed Monday and Wednesday.
no.
Okay.
They give us like, it's more, we ask for 48 hours advance. We do have one portion of our package that they can do like a 5-day, so they can pick those 5 days within reason to when works for their work schedules. Because a lot of people like can work from home some days and they don't other days, so they request certain days.
And that's where I think the average.
And that's where we're trying to be a little bit flexible, but at the same time, like obviously the numbers and the safety are first.
You're saying here summer. There's quarters of the year, not just one.
Right,
But
this
for
is our
this,
summer.
This is just for the summer program.
Okay.
That's the one that's being affected by the hiring freeze at present. If that can,
Yeah.
we might have to revisit
So
with
if
you.
we've never taken care of the other three seasons, decides not to work with you anymore, you have to come back. and-
Yes, absolutely.
Or take the hiring freeze on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
We-
the best part is that, the employees are paid through the fees generated in the revolving fund.
Yes.
Right, yeah, it's kind of that, for what the freeze is, it doesn't matter where the pay comes from, it's,
Yeah, but it makes it hopefully.
right. No, we understand that, definitely, I think. We,
What do you do with the extra money?
Goes into the revolving fund.
Yeah.
That's the idea of it, right?
Yeah.
It's so that,
You not understand?
yeah, no,
I get that, but you're starting out according to this with $14,000 in the black. I'm just curious.
that would be from that would be from last year. There are other things we do throughout the year.
Okay.
So that is all in our revolving fund.
Okay.
So like any of the other programs, it's just that we specified this specifically because this one is being held back because of the hiring freeze. So at this time, this is what we're asking for.
Okay.
Like I said, we might have to revisit. Hopefully we don't, but at this time, that's all we need to.
Okay, another question. Could you cap how many kids you have so that you know basically how many you need?
We don't hire them until like we kind of like hold back. Like we have some in reserve. Like we do interviews, and they're not necessarily like we kind of see as we get closer what the numbers look like because we never want to have way too many staff as opposed to kids.
Do you have a cap on how many you can have?
It has not been with staff. Yeah,
If,
we can hire more staff.
no,
That's
I'm
kind
not
of-
talking about,
You mean like for the location?
but they, yeah.
No.
No, there is. Right.
We've not come across that yet.
No, that's all right.
We've not. Yeah.
Tone of voice, but I didn't see you.
The,
Okay.
the closest we got to that, I think, was in 2018. at one point we did have to shut down our days and we capped them because we were getting, some of the days we had like 78 kids, 80 kids, and we were not expecting that. It was, I don't remember what happened that year, something, one of the other programs or a camp or something shut down unexpectedly.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah, so it was just massively, I think it was actually maybe 2017, 2018,
Yeah,
right in
I
there.
remember that.
But we don't, on the daily, we don't have 17 staff in-house. But these, keeping in mind, these are teenagers, you can't burn them out. It's a summer job.
And a lot of them have other
And they have
things they do, and we want to encourage that. Like they do sports or they do things like that. We want them to continue to be.
And it's their summer, so they're taking vacations and things like that.
But again, it's always on making sure that we have enough to keep things running smoothly and
And
safely.
keeping in mind too, when we do large events, if we're going someplace else, we overstaff, because if we are bringing the kids on a walk from Hawthorne Brook all the way to the common, we want more than one staff for 10 children. It's always about the safety issue. So if we're doing a large event, we make.
We're like welcoming the public
Welcoming
for it,
the public.
stuff like that. We might have a few extra.
Cause like when we do the bike rodeo, we usually have more staff, and then we go there as well. Where there's support staff.
Take them on a field trip to.
We would love that. We do. It's the busing has just been way too expensive for us. Like it's affected all of our programs. You know, even our ski club hasn't been able to have a bus the last few years because it was quoted 3 years ago as over $150 per kid, and we have families, so we don't want to price people out if we can help it.
The schools are the way.
So I have another question on your number. So you're saying you want 17 as your base number?
17 is a total number.
I'm talking you that.
I would say total, and I would say to keep in mind that we would some will roll over.
No, but 17 is the number that you're looking for the exemption for. 17 spots.
The top number, yes.
Cause you don't wanna go less.
Yeah, and I think that it might be that it is less, but I don't think we're gonna go.
So we'd like to give you.
So if we want a specific number, I'd say 17, yes.
Okay, so of those 17, 5 of them are already in place. Do they need the exemption?
That's a question.
That is my question.
I agree. It's a good question.
Is it, yeah,
I think you guys have an answer if we're asking for an exemption, please.
Well,
not
you
necessarily.
can't help
If you
with
get- right, if the total is 17, of the 5 that are on staff now doing the programs and they're gonna roll, included in the 17, or is 17 additional to the 5 year?
No, they're included. The ones that
So then it would
previously
be-
are, so 12.
It's 17. That's
Sure.
right. So if
You have a total of how many weeks staff per summer.
We didn't know how specific you wanted to be for summer programming versus.
Right, both rooms.
So you put 5.
So I think it's all in the wording of what we say to the selectmen.
Right, and again, it's
To
a
a total-
recommendation.
Yeah,
You know.
new hires would be 12.
And
And
of the people that are on staff now, are any of them in the lead position?
yeah,
No.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, yeah, so that is the request 2 lead positions in addition to the 1?
No.
Or only, it's, so,
The
It's
17
one.
includes all of those positions.
okay, so it's 1 lead position.
I think we maybe gave you more information than you needed.
No, it's kind of like, that's why the back and forth and the questions.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So it's 1 additional lead position because we have a lead position. already.
Two numbers here. Sorry, let me get exactly who's actually like on the roll
Yeah.
currently.
Right.
That would be a rehire versus what we're be looking for a new hire. Like last time we
I think we
had
had
staff,
2 new
I only
hires.
had,
Yeah.
I only had, I think, 3 new hires. All
They're all gonna be
Yeah,
on each position, so then we're gonna do it by position, right?
I think the
Absolutely,
recommendation
yeah.
is by position.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the request for 2 lead positions, 1's already on staff. If,
and then one would be a rehire.
but
They're on the roll.
they're on the roll, they are permanent seasonal, non-employee, so they're not an employee right now, so that's
Okay.
considered a hire.
Okay, that's, yeah.
So all paperwork is in place, so getting them on board is a lot easier.
But it's still.
It's still a hire. And so we're talking one lead position.
What lead and what?
And then on the activity leads, how many are the 2 to 3 positions all new hires, or is one of them or 2 of them already?
No, so I have one that is possible coming back and one that is currently on roll.
Okay, so you have,
So it would say,
you have one, so it's 1 or 2
yeah,
hires, okay.
Last year, we split one of the positions for 2 people to cover it in order. It's still 1 lead position, but we had 2 people because of their schedules.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going by position, right?
Right, I think, yeah,
So,
So-
one lady, people, are we down to 12?
Right.
We have
Yes.
the,
One-
one,
one-
two,
1 to 2 activity leads,
What, 1 to 2?
yes.
activity leads, and again, I think that's.
So we have to, I mean, in that case, I think we have to authorize 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we don't know if one person is.
that would be ideal.
We can say not-
And if we don't have to, yeah,
Yeah, the recommendation would be not to exceed 2.
that would be, okay, I think that's very fair, yeah.
and I have currently on the books that I currently have 7 standard staff. So my regular count,
So we would need
I
between
currently have 7.
1 and 3, so not to exceed 3 for.
For general?
Yeah, then you're only gonna have 6 positions, right? That you're looking for?
Right, we're gonna skip from 8 to 10.
No, she just
Okay.
said
We
6.
have 6 that are on the rolls, but he said that they are gonna still be considered a hire, but not a new hire.
It's kind of like.
The wording's a little bit tough.
Yeah. So those 6 are still positions that have to be exempt.
Yeah, this is like,
Okay,
So those,
so do we want the whiteboard? And
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
so they want 17, but they really need 12. Right, because they need 2 lead positions.
Correct. So the number,
Hey, can you just go with 12 and let them figure it out there?
I would like to,
I know, I would too.
because the hiring is based on, it sounded like, the number of children there and how many people per, so you.
We don't wanna say no to townspeople if we can, how to.
What I'm afraid of is that if we say this many and we only say 12 because they already have 5, are they gonna say, oh, no, those 5 don't count? Because they're not currently working.
Who's gonna say?
My understanding was that they are actually working programs.
I thought they
They're
were.
coming.
I do. Yeah.
We have 5 that are working right now.
Okay.
Okay.
We were just, I think maybe we confused things a
I
little
think the
bit
whole
there, yeah.
entire thing.
Why should we just
Yeah,
make
it's
it easy and
Yeah.
let them and go for the 12? And forget about who's a lead and who's not a lead, let them figure that out and just say,
would be appropriate.
that they can do 12 positions, cause what do we care?
There is a, like,
Is there a pay difference?
there is.
So,
But again, I know it doesn't matter because it's still a freeze, but it does come out of our revolving fund, so I don't know if that makes a difference for you guys, but.
Yeah, but it might.
right, it's kind of like we have to, it's kind of like, because how do you take somebody that is just the coordinator and bump their pay for a week because
We wouldn't do that for that amount of time, yeah.
Alright, so leads.
a lead,
Oh, you only gonna do
The monthly,
leads?
so there are 2 activity.
2 activity leads.
And
Not-
then,
not-
Well, maybe.
5 PM right now, there's no activity lead there. But what
No,
There's one.
There's one coming back.
I don't know, yeah.
Not
And
coming
one
back.
possibly coming back.
Right.
So the higher.
Right, so the higher is not to exceed 2.
not to
We
exceed,
said you
okay.
can.
So now we go to the general.
So now you just need 12, 10,
So now you need
10,
10.
10, whatever they are.
That would be 8.
So how many general
Okay, so
counselors do you have now?
I'm gonna send this to Liz.
So right now, general counselors, because we've got one that's a lead. So we've got 4 general counselors
That's on staff now.
that's on staff now.
We got more than that. We're college students.
But they're not working right this second.
They're on the roll.
But I wanna know who you pay.
Oh,
Right
what
now.
we're paying right now. We're paying,
What position?
That's the thing. They come for college breaks.
Just tell me.
so they're currently being paid.
They're currently open on the books. books, yes, but, so I only need.
Even if if they are open on the books, like, so we could call them to work tomorrow. So they are technically,
so
it's not like they're seasonal. They're like
So we have 6 on the books that work.
So
as
that's why you
general staff.
only need 3.
Correct.
it's not as straightforward as some of the rules in town. So that's why we're a little bit,
Yeah, okay.
sorry to add to the confusion, but
No, I
it has to fit the program.
That's why it was like we generalized it, because we figured that.
Well, I just don't want, I just don't want, you know,
Okay,
them to be able to go between lines and say, you know, we need the, and then you mess up the.
Right, they need
So three general staff and 1 lead and 1 ops
We
for
could,
those positions to be finalized or filled, whether it's by a rehire or a new hire. And that's just from historically doing this for all those years.
Okay, so if you don't have any reason.
but Dawn did say that they meant that would count for rehire. Dawn said that.
yeah, if they, a person that is permanent seasonal, if their categorization in the HR system is permanent seasonal, it's still a rehire. They're in the system. We paid them before, but they were seasonal, and this is not their season.
So there's
So that they're in the system. All their the W-2 information, Social Security, all that is in the system, but it's still a rehire because we're not within their season.
And so that has to be a position that's included in
this
the exemption of the hire.
Only ask you for something.
They're only if they were
Oh,
if they were-
already working
if
next
they were
year.
last year and they're
Forgive me, 'cause I'm
That's
not
okay.
back in your name.
yeah, it's kind of like there's a lot of interacting parts here between the HR active in the HR system and are they I mean, if you're in the HR system, you're active, but
But you're not necessarily.
You're not in
Yeah.
Does it affect the employee?
it does not affect the employee. It's only when they're longer than 2 years and considered permanent seasonal that we start running up against labor laws and reporting. It's kind of like once you're beyond that, once you're beyond 2 years, that's when you're allowed to pay temporary help, and that's what these contracts seasonal.
Well, that would be another whole can of worms, because that would be.
Like you have to do is
That's
You have to register it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you just have to register with the state.
That's a county
It says,
conversation.
it's
So-
kind of like.
Yeah,
it's-
that's a Cali.
Well, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a piece of it. So it's kind of like, so they're not active, they were seasonal.
but we don't care about that, do we?
We, only that they're not hired, but they're considered, we have to consider them in the exemption of a number of these. How many are we saying on the exemption? Our recommendation on exemptions to the higher phase. So
So, all right,
so they're in the system, but they don't count, they would need to be rehired or hired.
so they need the exemption.
for them.
They need the exemption for 12 people.
Because, well, actually, okay, when we hire for the summer, every position, even if they're working currently now, is considered a rehire because it's a new season.
Actually, your point.
So even though, Evan works currently for Rec Kids, but
Yeah.
the season ends, he's not, he gets rehired into a summer position that is different than what he works in Rec Kid. Or Pam, who's one of my general counselors, it's a rehire into summer. That's a
But
separate
he's been
season.
working
But he's
the
been
rec kids
working,
program all
he
year.
works the winter season. You see what I'm saying? So
That's what I'm-
in reality, that's what we're really talking about. All of the positions have to be rehired. So that goes back to our 17.
Are they considered permanent seasonal winter season?
That's a Cali question. That's not anything that's ever been brought to me for that.
You should
Yeah,
make
just
that
that.
decision on it.
So it would just be
For the Cali.
a total.
But we
We can still make our
can make a
recommendation.
recommendation contingent on
My rehires are rehires.
making sure it's straight with Kelly. So if it's not rehired, if
Well, I mean, if we authorize the 17 positions to rehire,
Hire or rehire?
hire or rehire,
right, yes, I think
if we authorize those 17 positions
right.
and they only need, and they have
5 people that classified as you don't have to call them rehires. Okay, well, they won't fill 5 of those 17 positions.
Anyways, yeah.
They won't, so it's not like,
It's a detriment to us to overfill it.
right, so we're not gonna, so I don't think we have to worry about over exempting. I think we only have to really worry about under exempting.
You're saying go to 17.
We can just say, go for the 17, and they're gonna hire,
And do that for the fifth thing right here.
yeah, and they're gonna fill what they need to fill.
Yeah, and these pretty straightforward. If they-
Now, she's changing the duty. They don't have six now. She's saying they change per season.
They're the same person, it's just that that's how it's been classified with the, like.
Well, but we're not really concerned with the person, we're concerned with the position. So
Right.
what you just said was, you got a kid that's working for you right now, but he's gonna be off in some interim 2-week period, they're gonna be rehired.
If they choose.
And that's what you're
if they
talking
choose
about.
to,
Right.
right, if they choose to come back,
Right.
that's
Yeah, but if they
another-
don't choose to come back, there's no spot, so they
Right.
need
So
17.
they need a spot, correct, they need a spot
Right.
here.
So then, I guess the.
Yeah,
not to exceed the
Go by what they
two,
told you here,
the 3 and the 10.
2 weeks.
Okay, so.
Yeah, there they are.
Yeah. Okay, go
That
not
seems
to
to
exceed,
cover it.
not to
That
exceed
seems
3 and
right.
not to exceed 10.
I
Okay.
think
Which is, yeah,
Is that work?
Well, that's only actually 15, so is that, that's okay, okay.
That's it.
It's 2 lead positions,
Yeah.
3 activity leads for 5
Oh,
and
you're
10,
doing 3.
10 general counted. So
So it's 15.
just-
That way it's covered either way if they say it's a rehire.
But it hits the max numbers.
Because they never, you ever, well, you don't know, but 15, how many kids do you need for 15? I mean, really age.
Yeah.
It depends on the kid, if it's a.
We don't have any signed up yet because we haven't opened it.
So did last year,
You need
let me just ask you this, did last year,
Yeah,
how
I can
many,
hear what you're saying, sorry.
I'm sorry?
I wanted to make sure I could hear what you were saying.
So last year, how many positions did you wind up filling for the 89 kids?
I had 14 open positions.
13 total, so out of
This
the
is
12 to
looking with
17,
growth.
you had 14.
Yep.
Okay, so, right, and
We've had a
if we have some growth, like you might,
Yeah.
like you're kind
We're trying to account for that
hoping
without
for,
having to
not
come
hoping
back.
for,
Yeah,
whatever, just hoping to account for it.
yeah.
If you have enough growth, then you may need to go to 17.
Yes, and if we don't,
And if you don't,
we
you're not
don't
gonna
want
hire
to
17.
because that puts us in a bad situation.
Right, okay, so I would say, let's just recommend the 17,
Not to achieve.
not to exceed 17, and then they'll do what they need to. I don't think we need to.
I don't think we need to name it.
But if you do positions, you can always do
The ones we recommend.
two supervisory leads, 2 activity.
I don't, I
three
mean,
activity leads.
I don't know, I don't think we need to do that.
We haven't-
We just make it simple.
Just make it 17 and they fill them the way they need to.
We haven't even-
Because then it gets so complicated.
Yeah.
That's one, so we should.
No, I thought, but when we, it's kind of like we didn't say quote the
If you
age,
look at another.
it's kind of like we were.
It's very specific than a different department, and I think that you're right, it can get confusing, probably more so in other departments, and if we are looking to do this with the right amount of what we need to look after. We wanna give the kids a nice summer, we wanna keep everybody safe, the staff, the kids, everybody else, and we just need a little bit of leeway so that we can start planning for it.
Yeah, the only concern with doing specific positions, like as in last year, I ended up having to, we traditionally had either 1 or 2 solid for lead. Well, last year, because of the staffing schedules, their own schedules to work around, because again, young adult and some adults, but it's still their summer, I ended up needing 2 leads for arts and crafts instead of just 1. So if we just said, okay, I'm just doing 3, well, what if my gym,
It's not like they worked
my 4
full
is
time,
not, if I needed
Yeah,
a total of 4, not 3 leads.
right, and those two essentially was one position.
Exactly. It's one
Yeah.
position, but it's 2 people that I'm hiring.
I think we can authorize 17 positions.
It's, yeah.
That was my
And not to exceed 17, up to 17 positions
To cover the summer.
to cover the summer program.
I
But I think we need to put in hire or rehire. I think you should put those
Do we
words.
have to say summer program though? What if somebody?
It's only
They're
one
using
single program.
This is for the summer.
It's
program.
only-
This is
So at the end of the summer, they have to.
when we,
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if the hiring freeze.
If the hiring freeze is still happening, we will,
Yes.
because it's a new season. Because we'll have different numbers then for requests, and it would be relevant to sit down again,
Yeah,
just so we're not.
yeah,
It probably would be good to sit down and get it.
well,
if we need to.
Well, we'd have to do it It'll- in summer.
we have to-
Yeah, hopefully, that'd be great if we did, but
Okay,
it'd be very different,
So-
yeah, so we'll wanna do it.
So you want to try it?
Okay,
So
so
recommendation?
I'll do,
Okay.
go ahead.
I think you can correct me, so I make a motion to cover the summer program not to exceed 17 positions, like, 17 hire or rehire positions.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
We recommend that we approve the exemption.
Yeah,
Okay, approve the exemption.
right. And
Approve the exemption to
levels to
cover.
be determined by recreation staff.
What was that you just?
I don't think.
I don't think just say 17 positions, and they'll allocate the positions as they need.
Right. Okay.
If it wasn't coming out of the revolving fund, I could see saying we need to get a little finer with the details, but I think.
Isn't the revolving fund their money?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
In other words, 500 years ago, we put $2,000 or 20,000, whatever it was, into a revolving fund. And from then on, they have been responsible for refilling it, keeping it functional.
Right,
So by this time in life, it's all theirs.
right.
And so they're not coming back to the general kitty for anything.
No,
And all of their hiring and whatever had everything to do with their own.
right. But with the hiring freeze, we still have to approve the position.
Yeah, I agree. But
And I don't think you need to get more detailed than that.
No.
You know,
For this one versus.
for this one versus other ones. because
Yeah,
of
it
the
is.
fact that-
Yeah.
That's what it's summer.
Yes, that,
Yeah.
and that's in the.
Yes. So it's, I can say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
Okay, make a motion to approve the exemption for the summer hiring program not to exceed 17 positions to include new hires or rehires.
And because of, the recommendation is to select board, so the recommendation is to.
I will second that motion. Carol made it.
Carol made the motion, and we had a second by Dave.
Easier for her to make it
Kinda.
right into the same.
But she was writing
Yeah.
it and adjusting, so any further discussion, questions?
No, I think.
Okay,
That was it.
okay, all in favor, and this would be to include the recommendation to select board for the hiring of 17. So in the affirmative.
You can do it.
We don't have to do roll call. we
Yeah,
can
like
do-
do it.
Okay,
Karen Fox, yes.
Your own mistake, yes. Mary Jane Churchill abstain.
Kathleen Spofford, yes.
David Walker, yes.
Dan Grant, yes.
Okay.
Make a motion.
it's kind of like unanimous, and it's-
Well, it's gonna go to the next level.
So I guess we now.
Yeah, that's just
the right meeting, right?
We need to.
So you need So, I would like to adjourn the recreation meeting, no, it's still the same, at 7:47 on March 10th. I second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have to adjourn our meeting.
We have to adjourn the joint, so
I make a motion to adjourn.
at 7:47, we have a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Right, unanimous? We are adjourned from the meeting, and we start finance committee meeting. Do we need a small?
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
They will,
Can they shut that off when they?
we can,
Do we need that? Well,
do we wanna take a break?
no.
Okay.
Dinner time.
We want to be done?
Well, no, PCAM, we're gonna step away for 5 minutes and, be back. So we'll be back about 7:53, 7:54.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the finance committee back after a 5 minute, recess. Break, and, while we are on, I gotta find my place, okay.
Okay, what are we doing now?
We were on the hiring, I thought I had updated this,
We did the hiring.
Yeah, we did.
We did, but I thought I had updated this because we had received correspondence, from senior center, so it's not here, so we'll have to,
Oh, 'cause she wanted,
she needs a bus driver on Friday, that's why I sent it out.
Okay.
She had a bus driver that was Monday and Friday.
Yeah, and he dropped out.
Yeah.
Was a few.
But see,
Who's the name?
here we go again.
Yeah.
Is it a hiring
So there is no hiring
Well,
freeze. Let's
No,
like-
no, but that's the thing, they're coming in for the exemption for the hiring freeze.
Because it's paid
Yeah,
out.
but I can't do
But
right.
it's-
There is or there isn't.
I.
Well, at least we go
I
through it,
think
which
the
we never did
hiring
before.
freeze is only for the town funds.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it,
Where does it come?
It's LRTA.
yeah, the Lowell train.
Lowell,
Okay.
So the money's paid out of, so it's not paid out of town money.
It's not paid out of town money, so
So maybe the hiring fee should be amended to say only town
Hiring,
Hiring that impacts the town
budget.
budget.
yeah.
And if it doesn't affect the town budget and you have a.
Well, that makes
resource-
sense, because this is kind of silly that they're
Yeah.
giving everybody an exemption.
We're gonna be meeting every week.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't understand this exemption personally. The only thing I want to do is get that revolving fund of theirs covering everybody, including the top
For
kid.
the director, absolutely, you're 100% right, I think that's
Well,
the goal.
but,
And if
and
they have money like that left over and they don't run programs, then maybe.
maybe we should transfer some of it out and use it, it's something to look at it.
Put it towards her salary.
We also need to look at all revolving accounts coming up, this kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see
Take a review
where
of
they
it.
are, right, because the other thing is we do make a recommendation for the annual town warrant,
On how much they.
how much each revolving account is for, so that's something we need to do.
Wasn't, the treasurer gonna do something like that last year with us?
Mhm.
Or was that revolving accounts or was that grant money?
I don't remember.
No, she said
no,
it was
it was-
leftover money.
Okay.
Or maybe it was.
That could have been
I
grants,
may have
not
been-
revolving, the
Would there be leftover grant money? Why would there be leftover?
Well, that was the
grant money?
question, that was the question.
It's,
We-
What?
Well,
Why
no,
would
they
they be-
can't even be left over.
They
Well, there
can't leftover
was.
grant money.
She said there was, and that she was gonna go
It
through.
was a special article money.
maybe special article,
That's a totally different.
that's, yeah, which we need to.
I thought it was grant money, but I.
Special
Because
article
I don't
money.
think you can have. looked at
Yeah,
grant money,
we'll-
you should
we'll add
see
that
off,
to-
otherwise it could be
Well,
called.
agenda.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
at the
I'm
beginning
jumping
of
ahead
the
on the
year,
agenda
there
to
was
say
no-
Yeah.
items for next week,
Yes.
because it's,
Because it was a grant. Anyway, well, we'll talk about that.
Dollars. Revolving account dollars. Okay.
Okay, what are we, so what are we doing?
well, I guess.
But I'm almost thinking though, that maybe we should make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen that this hiring freeze is for town budget, so we don't
Yeah,
have to keep.
Can we make that?
Because if the money's paying out of the Lowell Transit Authority or the revolving fund, why
What
do
you
they,
can,
or TKIM, why do they need to come back?
Why do they need to
Because
cover
it's not affecting the budget, so.
Right, only those funds that affect the budget.
the omnibus? That affect the omnibus
that's
budget.
great, AT, excuse me, I do, Carol, that was good. Say it again.
So, do I say make a motion?
I'll
Oh,
say,
I think you can.
Make
Can
it-
Do it again, it won't matter, but make it anyway.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, ask the,
Request.
request the Board of
Request the Board of Selectmen
Yeah, along the line.
Man,
to amend
Hiring
the
freeze.
hiring freeze.
To hiring freeze, freeze
Only encompass.
to only those positions
Right.
affecting the town budget.
Right.
The town omnibus budget, right? We have to say that.
The town.
Yeah, because.
The budget.
Yes,
Budget,
accounts, yeah.
budget accounts.
Yeah,
Okay.
budget's fine, yeah.
All right, I can put budget accounts.
You thought,
All right.
I'm
You want to second it, Dave?
Sure, I second that.
Hmm.
she was doing numbers, all of her numbers.
Okay, and so I apologize for not getting that on, so.
Okay.
Where's,
Can we get on to the
So
next
maybe we won't
one?
have to worry about it if the selectmen
Yeah.
amend the,
Right,
Well, that's true too.
But if
But that
not,
won't be till next week if they do it.
right, yes.
don't
Yeah,
they meet like every other minute, something that?
no, they seem to be meeting every week now, but next week is definitely their scheduled first and third Tuesdays.
So should we have it on our agenda anyways for next week?
Yeah.
Because it
Because
doesn't
it-
leave Elise out.
Oh, yeah, I put it, I
Right.
added it. as
Yeah,
a-
and
Okay.
I really thought I had modified the agenda to put it in there.
Okay.
That's on me.
All right.
All right, we're good with that.
And reposted. Okay,
Well, she's
so-
not even here. Oh, you didn't tell her.
So did you get?
It's
Any update
late.
for the tonnage, for the
Uh,
overhead?
only verbal because the reports have not been generated and sent to them. So all that I can say is that, the tonnage reports was in the low fifties, for both trash and recycling. So they're down, but the receipts were also down. The receipts were about 24,000 for bag sales. So bag sales are going down, but tonnage is going down with it. So
So is it true that the board of selectmen want,
I have not heard
so that's not official,
that's not official.
That they want what?
that they want,
$100,000
money back? Because they made.
Took out a stabilization.
They just started that program,
How
how
can
can
they possibly want it back?
How are they gonna get that money? You shouldn't.
Well, I think.
No, they made 60,000, right? What was,
That it was about 120 and they were using 60,000 of it for the FY 27.
Right.
And then keeping
in
64
the reserve?
sort of in the reserve in the event that revenues are not anticipated or the costs are more than anticipated, that they had a little bit of money. So
So they nixed that, they're not gonna do that.
this is Board of Health versus Select Board. I heard the Select Board wants them back, but I have not seen
Want what
anything
back?
official.
They want some of it back, you're saying.
Some
Should
are
make
all.
it, been like for 2 months, 2 quarters, shouldn't they let it run for a year before they start
We need to be running for a full year.
at minimum?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
At minimum.
I never want it back.
But then,
I'm sorry, we voted 3 times in my
Exactly.
lifetime here, okay? For the town to, increase our property taxes to cover the trash. The least the town can do as a community is say, okay, we can't afford the trash anymore, even though we did raise the taxes to cover that. The total budget is such that, but here's 160 grand. You make it work from there.
Yeah.
And we
Kick it off.
together, along
Kick it
with the
off.
health department, have made it work from there. Them
Yes.
doing the bigger work, but nonetheless.
we monitor,
Right.
we keep
Right.
our eyes on it. We kinda-
No, I think that's the answer right there,
Yeah.
what Sam just said.
That was the piece that was what we understood going in, is kind of like, so I haven't seen anything. There's nothing on the special town meeting coming up.
Okay, so that's good to know. So that's next.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah, and again, I did double check, the Board of Health article was still being, take no action on the meeting for the specialist.
Oh, so the town administrator's salary got reduced.
Okay, so,
Oh, wait, oh, yeah.
okay,
That's 180.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, right?
okay, so, we were taking a look at the recap sheet, so we were,
Don't want it?
yeah, I don't think
We
we're
went back and
gonna.
We didn't
We
finish
go
it.
back and forth, because we hit snow and ice, and then we went into the omnibus budget to see what the
Yeah.
budget was.
All right.
And we were talking about the Hero Act.
Right, we were talking about the Hero Act, so we were down at the end of the totals to be raised.
We have cherry sheet offsets and state assessments.
That's exclusion.
So what are the cherry sheet offsets?
Okay, cherry sheet offsets are deductions that the state takes from the cherry sheet money that they were planning to provide to the town. So there's.
Okay, so this money they steal back from us.
This, yeah, basically,
Whoever gave it.
right.
Thanks a lot.
It's
Chief.
sort of like the overlay. It's kind of like money that was.
What about the state assessments?
Where are we? I'm sorry, it's kind of like.
The next line.
Yeah,
Okay, same thing. The assessments will be like for the MBTA charges and things like that. So yeah.
We have to pay for an MBTA that we can't even get to.
Oh, don't even
but,
talk about that.
If you see,
Craziest thing in the world.
I'll get, we'll visit the DOR site, for the cherry sheets next time. We'll put that on just so that you see
Okay.
the numbers. So when they do the cherry sheets, these are preliminary right now. They still have to go through the House and the Senate and before they get signed by, the governor.
Oh, there's Jersey.
But so there's a couple of iterations of it, but right now, the initial cherry sheet estimates are here, and then there's a set for charges. And then you also see that for cities and towns that manage their own schools, there'll be a section for school money also. We don't see that. North Middlesex gets their own cherry sheet. So we don't, there's no school money in our cherry sheet.
so they take money back because we're an MBTA kind of, we're somewhat near.
Not the MBTA community. This is not it. It's to fund but in a way we are MBTA. The LRTA is there. The MART bus that you see around town all the time. That's part of that.
Yeah,
The
there
Mark
is.
bus.
Okay, so those are those kinds of things.
So yeah, there are things that like the MART bus is actually free to us, so it's kind of like, so as we see here.
Well, you have to call it, you have to call it 24, 48 hours in advance.
And it will come and take you.
Within 20 miles, it's either $3, $4, or $5, depending on how far from home you go. So it's kind of like, so if it would.
Appointments or?
It could be anything. I want to try to.
But will they pick you up on a big bag and bring you home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess, I'm
Yeah,
not
you
sure how that
schedule
works.
the to and from.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's
kids
not
go
that
from
one
with a
that goes
doctor's
at 6 in the
appointment.
morning and.
No,
Drops you
that
off.
just, no,
Fernandez
that,
pick you up and
that
stuff.
you have to call in advance too, but that only takes you
Yeah,
to the
that-
train station
And
down
back,
to Fishkill.
yeah.
The other Mart will run errands for you.
Also, if you want to go to
If you want-
Hanford or Walmart.
If we're all going to the eye doctor and we're getting dilated, you know how hard it is to come back?
Oh, yeah.
Call the Mart bus if your eye doctor's within reason.
So that would have been 20 miles.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
which,
we're
is not
20
within
miles.
reason.
Yeah.
Emerson Hospital.
You go all the way to.
Well, some of them are in
Yeah.
Westford, so that might be within the 20 miles, but
Right.
some of them, some of
No,
the
why,
doctors
that,
are,
which stuff?
some of
All
them
right,
are rest-
so-
doctors bill.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now what?
sorry, it's kind of like, so,
Yeah.
Okay. Good thing to know.
So Don,
Yep.
I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Okay,
You're leaving the meeting?
I'm gonna leave the meeting because I haven't been home since 6 o'clock this morning. But that doesn't mean you have to stop, right?
Well, we could.
Well, if he could.
But you don't have to, because you still have a quorum.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just wanted to let you know that, okay,
yeah,
I'm going
go
to,
rest, go rest,
Tired.
get some food, get some nourishment.
I gotta get up tomorrow around 5.
And do it again, yeah.
All right.
All right, good night, everybody.
Bye, Dave.
I'm
Thank
still
you.
getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody messed
It's
up
4
my
o'clock.
clock.
4 o'clock.
See if you
Okay.
can finish the
Yeah.
sheet.
Okay,
So where are we? We're on, I don't know.
The
we,
amount to be raised is
the 29,495,000, so we were,
Amount to be raised.
so that is the total of the budget plus all
Amount
of
to be
the
raised.
other.
they,
No,
Wait a minute, you have the,
I see it. 28,000. $29,495,000.
Oh, 29 million.
Mhm.
495.
Now, is this gonna change again, all we?
How do we get there?
Well, yeah.
You have a total operating budget up here,
Like
27.
gonna change again.
Correct. Well, where does, where does,
Wait, take.
and then come from?
We add
Is it gonna,
166 to it.
going that one?
That's money that has
Oh,
to
I
be raised.
recall that.
It's gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Then we have to raise, the overlay money. It's kind of like, then we have to raise the
People
donation.
in the meeting talk.
So all these
but
things
it-
add to
all
it
these
to
numbers
get
have to
that
change.
20 million. And that, so
I mean,
that's the total number of dollars we have to come up with.
So
They're
it's
taking
a
100,000 from free
Yeah, really.
cash to run the town?
That is a suggestion right now.
That's not a good idea.
What did you just say, Kevin?
Yes, it was that.
It's in a note.
Is it-
Yeah.
Where is that? Oh, right here.
where are you seeing the
I
number?
see.
What,
Oh, right there, free cash. Okay, I see.
No, good.
200,000 it said. Oh, no.
We did last year.
100 this year.
Last year we did 200,000.
You remember that,
And that
wasn't that voted
Oh,
at
wasn't
town
that the
meeting?
school and the fire truck?
Yes, that was,
Kim and Gary.
right.
So this year it's only 100,000.
Because it's probably not 200,000 the same.
Well, it's
How
kind
much is in free cash, do we know?
of, okay, so we said 558.
Oh,
So 100,000.
no, but 350 if it's the
Right,
snow.
so we start with,
350 for the snow.
So,
And I
the
don't
best,
know, 200.
period.
Oh, so now we'll have not 208, so we'll
Yeah.
have 108.
so you have 208
208,
and then
and then we'll take 100,000
So we have 108.
for the year.
for the year.
For anything that comes up,
Here
and
and,
pay old bills.
or,
Oh.
And
so
something
bills will
like
come
that
in
we had
after?
said-
You mean the bills will come in after?
well, plus we had capital planning things that we said that use free cash or
Because we were told we had this much money.
money, yes.
Right. Dave,
So,
yeah.
but we didn't really have that much money, but when we made
But
the
nobody would give us
recommendation,
an answer.
Well, it's kind of easy. to get it.
well, they never gave us an answer of how much money we actually had for,
And now
To
I
spend
see in
in
the
capital
budget that
planning.
they're gonna cut back on what they're giving the capital planning. It's down to 30,000.
Is that
well, they gotta pay the lease, which
right?
is
That's
30,100. 30,100.
Mhm.
Is that what it was?
So didn't we
Yeah.
have like 46 total?
Then you had the
Yeah.
10,000, but I haven't heard if the
I-
other building, evaluation was gonna work for that, so that would have been the 40,000.
And then, oh, yeah, cause there was something, well, they're gonna use that.
Oh, the capital
study,
stabilization.
the
Yeah, the
study.
No, did they find the study? Weren't they supposed to look for the study? They already did the study. They've lost it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were gonna look for
Somebody
it.
was gonna look for it.
And that would be Veronica. Did
Yeah.
you find it?
I don't know.
We don't know, and that's why we were hoping to see Kieran, one of the questions for him was,
Did they find the study? Cause that would save $10,000, which or at least a portion of the $10,000.
It could be
$10,000, yeah.
only a portion,
Yeah.
if it wasn't a, what they said.
Whatever they needed,
Yeah,
all the,
full-
whatever.
Yeah,
they
but
needed.
certified or something.
But Karen seemed to think that we could request that they.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, exactly. It's kind of like people that have seen the buildings, physically touched them, done the review, should be less than bringing somebody in from scratch.
Right.
Correct, yes. Well, it's just a modification or
Mhm.
amendment or updating.
Okay.
So, so the transfer from going down the available funds. So we saw the cherry sheets, the enterprise indirect costs, which is
So what is that?
the enterprise indirect cost is the water department transfer.
So what is this little note? Chat with the water supervisor.
That-
What's that mean?
It has to be an agreement between what we're billing them, what we'd like to bill them, and is that the number that he put in his budget to transfer to the town for the
There should be a
services.
formula for that.
I thought there was a sheet. It's kind of like they had formulas built in and you just,
Yeah, I would think that they would be.
it's kind of,
Oh, my.
but it with the loan that they have, that I think there's some unique things in there that may you know, maybe a formula doesn't work for. You know, like, when you have a loan like we have for building the PFAS plant and doing that, it's kind of like, and then, you know, making sure the number of employees that they have there, do we have the benefits, do we get the salaries, the right money that has to come in, because our payroll system and all that is being used to pay them, so that's part of the money transfer.
Don't we pay part, don't they pay part of that?
They pay everything in, and then, you know, the actual time that for time entry and all that is done by the treasurer's department. Accounting is doing, you know, so.
Don't they charge them?
That's what this transfer money is. Yeah, so those are pieces of it. But I think what he said is there's a increase of 6% this year.
The what? The water bill? No.
The water to the bill, the water, the
Indirect
bill
cost.
to the indirect cost to the water department went up by 6%.
Oh, shit. What's that mean? Well, because everything else went up there from too.
Mm.
Oh, my God. I should know that. All right.
And then the estimated receipts are 2 million.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
So the estimated total revenues.
Doesn't sound good.
is
Well, come back next week, it'll still be here.
4,802,222. Yeah.
All right.
Then the transfer from ambulance receipts, we'll leave it at the 700 for now.
What are you expecting, more or less?
Less.
Less,
It depends, well,
Because.
oh, you wanna take the 135 out for the.
right,
For the-
Yeah.
but that has an impact on here, so, you know,
Capital planning made by.
well, were they planning to buy the gear with the 108?
They really should let it.
I mean, they
Yeah.
need to buy that gear.
Right.
Right.
This doesn't make sense.
But
But
are they, is this a goodness of your heart donation, or is it, is
No,
it?
they really need that.
No.
Okay,
No.
This is not out of the goodness of the heart.
No, no.
They are a revenue generating department
Yeah.
entity with the ambulance service.
Mhm.
So they, in their fund, they will transfer money back that is to be used for the specific purpose of paying for fire EMS. And
Why why doesn't it all come to us? No,
Okay.
seriously, because you look at what their expenses are, and it's mainly personnel.
Mhm.
They don't,
And a lot of expenses.
and then.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't understand, because it's double that.
And again, you
And
see
you
the
want-
person,
You wanna,
No.
and we're looking at just the personnel here. The thing that's behind it all is the, say, 30% for benefits that go behind that you don't see in the department budget.
Right.
That's right.
It's kind of like, so, I don't know the specifics. I need to check into what are the specifics about transferring that money in and its uses.
In a perfect world,
Mm.
we would get all that money, but also in their line items, it would have bunker gear.
Right, right, and
And it would have all that stuff, so that,
but I think. And we'd have to look, I thought they were directed to use that to, pay for the fitting of the 2 new trucks, because they weren't fitted coming in.
I never got the answer. Now, here's the question. Is it, was it 120,000 for 2 or 120,000 for 1 to refit?
My guess it would be.
I thought it was 135.
Yeah.
Like that was 126, so whatever.
I think it was 120.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll never know. We'll never know, Jerry.
Is it for 2?
Question is, where are the OFAC?
Well, right now, I think,
Do the new ones come in?
Yeah,
I don't. That's-
yes, they've
Yes,
been here
they
since the
did.
beginning of the year.
yes.
They have.
Well,
Here?
or out being fitted,
No, I was told that
okay.
that they have been used, well, at a selectmen's meeting, they said that they've been in use since the beginning of the year, and they've had a lot of use because we've had a lot of fires.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I
But,
Where are
heard.
the old
right,
ones?
okay, but then the old ones were supposed to
Where
be
are
put
they?
up for, I thought.
Oh, I didn't know that. They were gonna put them up for sale?
I did hear that.
Yeah, right.
Did they actually
They
go?
didn't-
I heard that they were going to.
I
Yeah,
tell
would
you,
that be a
I'd like to hear it, so
one-time,
We need to get in, yeah,
one time like the tax
we should come back to us,
land?
right?
We should
Oh,
go
you like
against-
the property, like
Yeah,
some property
yeah.
things?
We should go against the loan or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, look, it should
So
go to
we-
the general
we-
fund
we'll have-
and wherever we need it.
We'll-
So. It's not gonna be much money. Don't ask for a lot of money.
About that.
What about you doing, I guess we're getting on track.
Okay,
Okay, let's go back.
We'll get,
Are we done?
Okay, so that's,
So we're up at
okay, so now we're
other available
funds.
Yeah.
700,000 from, okay, 166.
166.
It's like the ones
We know
we
about
watched.
KAC.
yeah, that's the watch for TCAM.
PQ.
Pay access.
Yep, so we have the Title Five,
Title 5.
Transfer
Which-
from the reading
which
room.
is-
Oh, let's talk about the reading. So,
It's at zero. So we-
well, yeah, okay, but I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. But that means they're not gonna put any money into it.
I would believe this.
However,
Yeah.
there is a fund
That's right.
with $13,000 in it as of 2024.
oh, you found it.
Well, it's in the town report. We found it in the town report, but they say they
Because I
can't.
asked and they said they didn't know if that.
They didn't know where it was, but how can there be a number there?
Right.
How do you get a
Exactly.
number if you can't?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I
Mike.
said.
And
Never
yeah.
has to go someplace, right?
Because the deed says, whatever
Well, no,
that, all
oh,
that.
excuse me, they don't have the deed. Remember I
Oh,
offered
yeah,
to,
well,
remember
whatever
I offered
that,
to get them the
that's right.
deed? Well, they sent an email today that, they're not gonna have the deed for us, cause the person that they relied on couldn't get it.
But it said in whatever that,
But you can go in and get it.
but how can you sell?
Don't even try,
But-
you're talking
But
to the choir here.
well, whatever that paperwork was, that
That
Lindsay, that
annual-
family gave the money.
The
and-
bequeath,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
supposed to be in perpetuity. And
Yeah,
and
in
I asked-
perpetuity, that's a word.
And I said, well, where did that money go?
Uh-huh.
And it was
Over
like,
the years,
oh,
I mean,
They can't find
Again,
it.
they can't find it.
this is why we need the
Plus-
auditors to come in and do like a.
Forensic,
audit.
forensic
I've been
audit,
paying that for years, 3 years.
a forensic audit, not just your basic, let's look at the books.
But, yeah, no, but like, where's all the money?
Yeah.
Like, because somebody should be watching that account.
Well, if there was 13,000 in 2024 annual report,
Mhm.
it went away last year, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or did
Okay,
it get reported, was it reported by the? Is it?
Yeah, one way.
It's in the,
They
it's
say
in
they
the
can't
trust
find
funds.
it.
So who watches the trust funds?
There is a trust fund committee.
Is
Yeah,
there?
but I don't think they watch the funds
What do they do?
because they only.
They
get the-
allocate, they make payments out.
They just make payments.
Yeah, that's a great
I
one.
only handle the.
I
mail
want
and
that
the
checkbook.
Clock thing. I think that's the
For the
only
what?
thing. The clock. I think that's the only thing they do.
Oh,
The clock?
What?
up in
Yeah,
Memorial.
Marilyn McEachern's.
Oh, the clock. Oh,
Yeah, for the clock.
Rich didn't do another clock, it was a
Yeah, the one in good terms.
It's at 12 o'clock.
So that's $13,000 and I think we should probably ask. I mean, why can't they
Well,
find it?
the next property meeting is what?
Wednesday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
So 10,000 can't be spent.
Right.
Correct, so there's
But there's
3,000.
3,000 plus.
But what about the interest?
Well, that
It's
is,
3,000 plus.
yeah, the 10,000 can never be.
But it would be
spent.
nice to see how they've been spending that money, seeing that she gave it in 1926.
Hmm.
So it's been there for over 100 years, and we only have $3,000 in interest. And no accounting.
Three, this is,
Okay.
I mean, this is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. let's-
Forensic,
All right, let's go on. So, okay, we're done, the reading of the.
Then
The
the.
revolving fund,
the rec revolving fund, now we have conflicting information here.
You
Okay,
said 14,
You
right?
said 14, this
You did say
says,
14.
no,
What?
She said 14 for what?
I don't
they
know.
had 14 in the revolving account. Didn't you just?
No, but this is transfer
This is-
from.
this is-
oh,
Right.
transfer.
Why was money ever
Transfer
transferred?
it.
to the town?
Because we were using it to offset the assistant director for a couple of years.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
and
That
that
be the
position
time.
went away, okay.
No. There was somebody, yeah. There was-
Yeah, there was,
yes, there was an assistant director at one time. And,
Oh,
Yeah.
I will never get over this. I'm sorry.
and
I'm
and
sorry.
That assistant director had an activity going into the programs associated with the revolving fund that $10,000 each year was transferred out of the revolving fund to subsidize the salary for.
Yeah.
Oh, so now that person's gone,
Right.
so we don't need the money?
They never filled
Yeah,
the.
They never filled the position.
So we get the 10,000 back?
No, no.
No, we received it from the revolving account.
We received it.
So now-
Yeah, so why
now-
don't we need money from the revolving account to pay the director's salary?
Something to consider.
Especially for the summer.
Right.
Particularly for the summer.
Yeah.
Well, she allegedly makes 11,000 net, 11,000 off the summer program
Right.
last year, allegedly.
Well, that's.
But 11,000 is 11,000.
Oh, wow, he's very candy.
Wow. Oh.
What did I miss? Anything fun?
Oh,
No.
all right. So what is the transfer from other funds? What is that all about?
Well, there was,
There's a lot of money there in 22.
she wants Kelly.
Ooh, they're in season.
I know.
Hang on. Starburst, Jelly Bellies, or like regular ones, conventional
You need the
brages?
Conventional.
Like the licorice one?
Yeah.
No, I hate those.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
Try and get the back.
My husband gets all of those. He can have all of them. If we gotta take a pause here for the kids.
My cost
We're
was.
just gonna have to wait a minute.
Oh,
Kind of like,
So do we know what the other funds are?
I,
The
at
transfer
this point, I
fund?
don't, I have to go back and
Which one?
see if we can-
This is here, transfer.
back in 2023 and twenty
And then it
twenty-four,
drops out to nothing.
we
Well,
transferred.
I guess you don't have to know what they are then.
I don't.
Yeah, I, one before your time,
It wasn't stabilization, it wasn't, ARPA.
it could have been our.
Okay.
Waiver.
Just to pay for salaries or something.
Like settlement salaries and such.
Yeah.
Then we had free cash. Boy, that was a nice number back then.
That also in ARPA and
So, then.
Yeah.
Actually, we just talking about the reading. What were we talking about?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, where's that money? Where's that money?
So the reading room's gonna be up for sale.
No,
After,
where's the money? The 13,000 that was given for the.
For that.
for.
Back in
Um,
1926.
We-
What did you say, it was last shown up in 2024? So what happened between now, 2024 and now?
No idea.
Where did the 13,000 go?
So we usually were getting about 5K a year paid to us, but I'm not sure where the expense went.
But you're not supposed to touch the principal.
So it could be sitting out in one of those untouched town meeting warrant articles
What's that?
No, this,
For the reading room?
or
Oh,
a slush account, like a slush fund
Oh,
out back.
No, it was a donation to the town from the person who donated the building. She donated the building plus $10,000 to be held. And we could only use the interest off of it.
Okay,
And according to 2024 annual town report, there was $13,000+ in there. 13,000 plus.
it might be still out there, just unrecognized as a, because if you can't touch it and they didn't use it, it's not enough for any improvements in the building.
What are we doing? We touched the 3,000.
So if it were my family leaving money, they would want the money back. They'd want the principal back,
Mhm.
less the interest if you were all of a sudden gonna sell their building.
Well, yeah, that's a thing.
That
is a real thing.
that's
Yeah.
based on what I know, my Irish father, he'd be like, well, give me the money back then if you don't want the building anymore.
Can the building be sold? Well, that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
we believe so.
Yeah,
Based
we
on,
gotta look at the deed. What's the reverter? I
buy it
mean,
out, give the money back. The building needs at least 100K in work to start with, and we are not in a position to spend money on that building.
what I'm saying is if there's a reverter and it goes back to the family, then we don't get any money.
That's fine too. Get it off our books for
Oh, I-
utilities, zero it out completely.
Well, and then you can collect.
And then we can,
Then if you put it back in
How many-
the tax roll,
Yeah, somebody's pocket.
make it a 3-bedroom house and we'll take, $5,000 a year off of the taxes. No matter what, it's costing us money to have it, and relieving us of that cost is a good thing.
Solution. It's a nice little, nice little area. It's a nice little building. We didn't need so much water.
right,
It's tough when you don't have a functioning septic system. If you can't use a septic system in the winter months, you're in a tough spot, so.
you gotta.
Does it have an outhouse?
There's a porta potty, I've heard.
Yeah.
There's a river.
We have river out back.
We're having overlay surplus, we don't have any?
No.
Right, okay.
No, we don't think so. Again, we wouldn't have that yet anyway.
And no stabilization money,
No stabilization.
Not to use, no.
so.
And then.
Still this snow and ice is
No,
get
no,
them.
Mhm.
How is that available funds?
For the 350, for snow and ice?
Yeah, it's under other available funds.
Right, so the snow and ice is the transfer from free cash, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
another word for
You
free
gotta
cash.
capture it,
So it's,
Okay,
it's separate than the free cash line, but that,
okay,
But they're virtually the same.
it's the same,
But
but
it's-
you don't wanna bury the 350 and the
Yeah,
100
okay.
and put
Okay.
450 in there.
Yeah, okay.
So we're.
Hello.
Oh. Always in the red.
Okay,
That the recycle, that for the health.
Board of Health, correct.
When you from the Board of Health. One next page, I just went to the next page.
Yep.
We're on
Okay.
page one.
Okay, but where were you on the Board of Health?
I'm right in the first call.
Solid waste,
Dog waste in
In the
the
first
one,
section.
2, 3, 4.
bottom line.
The fifth one down.
did you go to the omnibus?
Oh,
No.
are you still on the recap?
Yeah, aren't we on?
Second page.
Yeah.
Second page?
At the
I
top,
see.
Oh, solid waste, indirect
Indirect
cost, I
cost,
got it,
yeah.
yep,
Where do you, okay.
you guys are tired, you're tired.
yeah, no, because I haven't.
Iron sharpens iron here, let's go.
I might try it.
Sorry, okay, now we're with you.
Have 5 Snickers and a peppermint patty, that'll.
Okay,
It's 1:30 in the morning in London, you know.
okay, all right.
Okay. Right,
So,
you guys-
and as we talked earlier, it's kind of like we see the budget accounting for police override is set at 197.
That's nice. Now, what happens because then one of the officers retired or left or resigned or whatever they say?
Right.
So now there's a position open?
Correct, that,
So we built the number off 15 officers, because that's what the enrollment should be.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you base the override. It likely, for them to get up to 15 officers would be quite a lift. And the probability of getting that many cadets through the academy is not high. So we based it off 15 because that's what the bargaining agreement bases it off.
staffing up,
If
yeah.
there's fewer, then the town would have less expenditures. You'd have more money in the future free cash number.
Okay.
But you base it off the bargaining agreement in the 15 officers that are supposed to be working for the department.
Okay.
Federal government can do it in 47 days. What's this problem?
How's that working out for you?
Yeah. So, I guess my question would be on the school resource officer. It says if override passes, but that 80,000 comes from North Middlesex for supporting.
So
that.
it's the 80,000 and we have to confirm that number. But there is an additional cost if because the officer only works for the school system for, what's that, 9 months out of the
Right.
12.
Yeah.
We benefit from that officer for the other 3 months of the year. So,
At the school, it's not open?
No,
no, the community.
because for the other 3 months.
When it's, when summer
Oh.
vacation.
Yeah, in the community.
So we get 80K from the school district. That's about the swing in it.
Yeah.
And then we also benefit from having the officer for the summer months to cover shifts, vacation, do the backfill stuff.
Yeah.
That would be a time when you need an extra.
So is that
To
an
cover
addition
vacations,
then?
Yeah.
197 plus 80?
Correct. Because it's identified as another line item.
So it's 277 for the line.
Nope, the override is for the 197, the 80 is from the school district. That's the income you get.
And
If
that-
the override,
that-
yes,
So,
if,
right,
so both of those are.
so it doesn't need to be raised, but
You have to account for the revenue that we get from the school district, like the transfer over from their bucket to our bucket.
Right.
You're still paying it to the school.
Yeah, we give them
Right, it's kinda like
150 billion
rather
and,
than being 80,000.
they give us
less,
80
it's
back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
To cover it.
Right.
A little bit higher.
There's a bookkeeping.
So if the override doesn't pass, how does it affect the 80,000? That's what I don't get.
You still get the
You still get
80,000.
the 80,000
Right,
because the
yeah.
school.
So that's why
Yeah,
the note
so
in here,
Why
also,
is,
why is the note for the,
yeah,
if the override passes on.
That's just me keeping track of it.
Oh.
But that's just, that's
It's a note, but it means.
it's a note to himself.
okay. I'm
Note to,
just,
note
Note to
to self.
self.
You-
Keeping the note out.
me too.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah,
Just-
that's confusing,
yeah.
okay, fine.
It's really,
And solid waste indirect cost is now going to be the pickups that we have to do?
No, that's the indirect costs for the landfill and the different indirects that come from that. So it's been explained to me by Board of Health.
Right.
I don't understand all the different operations there, but I'm just trying to piece that
Does
together.
that come out of the revolving account?
It does.
Okay.
So it's a transfer to us.
Yeah, okay.
Please. Okay. That's funny, that speaks for itself, right? I mean, what are you gonna do about that?
Right. In this case, this is doing the tax levy at the 2.5% increase and the new growth number coming from the assessor's office.
So, new growth isn't a real number, right?
It's an estimate based on historical, the number of new
So-
bills, the number of additions.
So does anybody track if it was correct or not from the prior years, or do you just carry this number in your head and put it on the sheet?
You build in percentages, and like last year, I think Mr. Garside, Bob said, there was about $250,000 worth of building work and things like that
New
done.
growth?
Yeah, this year there's less. He's already saying, it's not gonna be the same number. So
No
it's-
kidding, right?
it's
No one
like-
has any money.
Yeah, the market's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. The interest rates are still up. You're seeing people do
Well,
some
everything
projects,
it's
but not a
supposed to be
ton.
doing. It is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
Depends on
It
what,
may not be pretty, but it's still doing what it was supposed to be doing.
I know, I filled my gas tank yesterday. It wasn't great, so.
My gas tank, almost every time I'm near it.
Everything you're not living in 1% interest when I bought the house.
Oh,
Kinda like-
well, yeah, I can remember the 17 and 18%
They're the only
interest.
like.
I remember the 2.25 too.
$6 a gallon, I remember it, and I'm not.
And actually,
And that was-
but our houses, it was like 7% was the norm.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
the percentage.
When they had the gas for years, that was.
Gas,
But-
Well, the 70s.
I guess if we look at this, we had a real couple of questions
But there's.
when it came to the current year overlay and the HERO Act.
Yep, HeroAct's driven by the Veterans Office. We've heard there'll be no changes currently, unless someone's heard differently.
Right, but
So, correct, there'd be no changes, so there's nothing else there to change.
Is that
But it still would have to be in this column, cause 75,000.
She is not making any changes, so she's not, the budget changes I have right there are what I have. That's it.
So it's 75,000, not 85.
It's a zero, because she hasn't given me anything.
Oh, well, it's gonna include in that 120 up above.
75.
Oh,
It's zero.
okay. It's zero.
Yes, if I had a number to put there, I would have.
Oh, so it's not in the.
So the
Oh,
HERO
overlay.
Act passed last year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and
She has not given me any changes. So she said, whatever it is, Kieran, I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't expect anything different. That's it.
when you say is it Vicky or is it,
Natalie.
okay,
Natalie.
Natalie's money is different than Vicky's
Mhm.
HERO Act money.
Yep, Vicky hasn't made any changes on it.
But isn't that 75 gonna be carried over?
I gave her the budget. She didn't give me anything, so
It is not.
But that isn't in the
Okay.
budget. That's only in the recap.
she didn't give me anything.
She,
Yeah, I think that needs to be visited because we're on the hook for it because we pass it unless we put an article on and cancel the HERO Act and bring it back to zero. We're on the
Yeah.
hook for it.
I can ask the assessor for an update, but
But if nobody,
Yeah.
you're saying maybe nobody filed for it, but we still have to be prepared for it because we have people that can file for it.
sure.
Oh, maybe they didn't file for it because they didn't know it was passed.
Yeah.
But that's Natalie's job to tell them, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, and I think there's other ways of getting that information in town to people too.
Okay, so it's not included in that.
It's not included in.
The overlay, okay.
Was Karen, that might have been a one-time thing,
You're right.
because it says, increase exemption, I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, no, it was on the separate line last year because we had not enacted it. It was It was a warrant article and it passed at town meeting last year.
And I thought that was like every year.
Once you do it, unless you put another warrant article and either rescind it or reduce it to say 50% or 75%.
Neither department's mentioned anything, so.
The HERO Act is not money going out, it's not money coming in.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay, in other words, so therefore. Unless
that's why it's in the overlay area. The
Right,
overlay money.
because in other words, somebody's not paying his taxes because he's been granted the ability not to pay the taxes. And the overall revenue for taxes includes him having to pay that tax, and then he doesn't have to, so that's,
Right.
but it's still in that number.
It's
And so your overlay covers taking it not
Right,
being there.
and
You may have accounted for it in your overlay number already.
Okay, yeah, we need to check. Okay.
What other questions did you guys have?
I haven't even necessarily gotten in yet because the big one is gonna be whether we think Saturday is necessary or not. It's kind of like, hey,
I told you a balanced budget. I don't, it's, I don't know if I would say come on a Saturday.
right, it
Go
is
through it.
kind of quick because we haven't gone through.
Wait a minute, whoa, what's the discussion now?
Do you think a budget summit's necessary, or could you do it with us on Tuesday night? With the joint meeting with the select board?
I thought we did it with the department heads, no?
Your department heads received a balanced budget and they are thrilled at that, and I think
So you're saying just forget it because it's been handled?
sort of my job.
No, I'm not, I
No, we,
wanna know what, okay,
right,
got it.
And I'll sit with you guys here until 10 o'clock tonight if you wanna ask questions.
no.
We are going to town meeting in May with a balanced budget.
You have a balanced budget in front of you right now, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying it's gonna be equal in May,
it should be pretty close.
okay? But that includes 190. What do we do if we don't get the 190?
Actually, your numbers would go down. You actually come out ahead. Because you're using ARPA money in Article 4 at your special town meeting to offset that. You only have to have $20,000 more to make up the difference for the fiscal wage increase for the cops, which you have.
Okay,
Because you have $558,000 in free cash. You're using $100K free cash in this budget.
we're using 5 million for the snow and ice.
You're using $350 for snow and ice. I could build a budget without any free cash usage in it. It would take me a little bit of time, but I can do that.
Well, you kind of should.
If we
But then
wanted
you'd
to
have,
take the 135, this was for the bunker gear. Out of the ambulance receipts, I think it's $135,000 for the bunker gear, what does that do to the budget?
you'd be
that's not,
using free cash then to balance the budget.
it's more free cash.
We don't
more than
have
100.
much free cash. We don't have much free cash left.
Well, that budget right there, the recap sheet has $100K free cash in there, and then you're left with $34,100 by not doing ClearGov. You do every other special town meeting warrant article, and so you'd be adding 34 in, you'd have to come up with another 100, which I can do.
So the select board did ask Karen what it would look like if we didn't use that 100,000 free cash tonight.
If you did or did not.
Did not.
And I can do that.
How much is going back into the long-term savings, so there's several of them, I guess, to which we have picked the pocket thereof in the last several
We have
years.
about $1.1 million in stabilization right now.
Yeah? Is that enough?
No, but
Yeah.
So free cash should be transferred to there as a priority.
but
We
you
need,
shouldn't,
we
you
need
shouldn't
to
lay off staff because you shouldn't lay off staff or like not do bunker gear because you need to put money in stabilization. Like, that's just a bad policy.
Well, we're not having a savings account for bed policy too.
But you also made a warrant article last year that you used 160 to bail out trash, and you didn't ask for it back. You look at their budget, they have $60,000.
We had,
I don't.
no, you shouldn't get it back. That was
Why not?
money Okay, we voted for tax increases 3 times since I've been here, just to cover the tax, just to cover the trash. We've all come to the conclusion that that's not possible to use that anymore. So we said, okay, 160, whatever of it, that goes to start the trash program that we have as as a community have to take care of ourselves.
You're
And
not,
that's what we're doing.
you're not obligated to provide trash service to people. It's
yeah.
not required.
No, it's not required.
It depends on what you mean required.
In this town,
We just visited with the recreation committee. That's not required either, but we're working with them to see to it that they go down their little, yellow brick road. Okay, as long as they take care of themselves. That's a great idea. Okay, but it's not obligated.
Correct.
Okay, well, what services are obligated?
Usually it's about, tax collection.
Yeah.
A few hours of a town clerk, a building inspector. It's not required.
Oh, my God.
It's not, look at any master law,
right.
it's not required. It's recommended. What, you only do what's required. You have to provide an education. You have to have a police department.
I understand that.
You have to plow the roads. You don't need a TA. It's not required. You don't need planning board admin. You don't need a conservation agent.
We didn't plow the roads 150 years ago.
But like, if you wanna play in the semantics of it, it's.
Why do we have to
Like,
plow the
there's
roads?
so many private haulers for trash. Like, why do you have a trash service?
Wow.
That's your opinion.
But look at many other communities in the area. Like, they don't provide trash service.
No, Pebblebrook.
No.
They haven't, they never have. They have a dump though.
Transfer station.
They have a transfer station. Right.
Fine.
They have a place.
Each one has picked their own method.
Yeah, they have, we got our own. You also have to look at the demographics, I think, of the town. You can't just say, okay, everybody does it this way, it's not recommended. I think the demographics should be considered. I think there should be some compassion in government. I mean, yeah, you're right, you don't need any of this stuff, but, I mean, you don't need a library, for God's sake. You don't need a senior citizen, you don't need anybody.
My bigger point was that the Board of Health, based on their budget, has a $60,000 surplus at the end of this year because they have more,
but we don't know for
Hasn't been a
sure.
year. No, it hasn't been a year
That's
yet.
projected.
but they have 400 more families signed up for the
It
survey.
doesn't matter, it hasn't been a year, and the deal
You
was,
need
we
more
were
than
gonna
1
let
year.
them go for 2 years, and then we were gonna look at it, and I think to.
Continue. Yeah,
This
yeah,
was
this was-
a pilot, not a pilot,
was
a
a pilot.
pilot story.
pilot and data
Thing.
gathering.
And I think for somebody to do a grab back is not giving them, I think they've done one heck of a job, because you weren't here, but when they took trash away from us, it was like, okay, you're not getting it anymore, like within 20 days or 10, right?
Oh, yeah, it was, and that was after it was voted at the town
Yeah.
meeting to spend the money on trash, and then all of a sudden, there's no money for trash.
Yeah,
even
all
though
of a sudden,
It was gone, but we voted
That's a
for it.
couple of years ago, yeah.
it was 2 years ago.
When 2 years ago.
So
had
the Board of Health worked very, very hard within themselves, with us and with the board, I thought with the Board of Selectmen, I guess not. But they really wanted to keep trash for the people. I mean, the town,
Important to the people in
the towns and people, for some reason, they love their trash. And
They love their trash.
It's my mother was one of the.
Oh, I remember your mother at town meeting, yep, all about the
Yes.
trash, yep.
Yes, and so I think for you to put, not you specifically, but for anyone to push them to do something
To possibly fail the program.
well, okay, but I mean, we shouldn't be talking about it until the 2 years is over, so we know what happened, and then we can ask for it back.
Continue the thing on.
Or get rid of it, whatever, but I think to
Well, it
push it
seems to
and
be
make.
working.
Yeah,
Gave them 2 years, we should honor that.
I think so, otherwise, what's the word? I mean, if you're gonna say something and then backtrack it, then what kind of person is that?
that. If we take that, that's their fallback money, if the revenues drop,
We said 2 years.
we
and I think
said
should
2
give
years,
them the
and
2
we said monitor, we said
And we'll
monitor.
we monitor it every month.
Yeah, every month.
Then we meet.
Yeah, we do.
We touch it, we have a verbal update, and then we get the report update,
Right, yeah, I think we gotta give them a chance.
Mhm.
We said we would, and we got to, and for it to become contentious, I don't think is a good move.
Oh, the point's not contentious, it's just, if you guys said, if I said to you, we have a $60,000 surplus, we should allocate that somehow or put it to stabilization. So,
But the deal was 2 years, they might need it. It's only been how long if they
It
have?
hasn't even been a year, it hasn't even.
It's only been 2
No, that was
quarters.
August,
Was it September first? So.
Yeah, so it's,
They haven't been a whole year.
in February, it's
Yeah.
just exact, and we don't have the numbers from February, do we? No, we just got
only, we don't, no, they'll be out at their next meeting in 2 weeks.
Right, so we didn't get them yet.
Right, we have not received them yet. The bill, the invoice just came in
Yeah,
yesterday.
so, okay, so my recommendation is that we just let them do what they have to do. I mean, I can't go back on your word. I mean, I guess you can, but
it's kind of like if we
That's
pull
like-
that and then they end up needing it to keep it.
they'll never
But-
get it. They'll never get it. The board of
Right.
selectmen will never give them a penny. They won't.
But that's the case is kind of like right now, they are moving 60,000 from there into next year's budget to help and do the preliminary stuff for the FY
But
27.
let me just revisit this.
Yeah.
This was not a loan, was it?
No,
It was not.
No, we gave
not
it
set
to
up
them.
that way.
it was 100, it was an outright.
The town voted. It was not. The
Town voted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like it's
It
not.
wasn't it wasn't a loan.
No.
No, so we're not under obligation to pay it back. It would be,
If
essentially a
they
free
were-
cash offset.
but is
I see
it?
how it
I
comes
know
out.
where you're coming from, but then on the other hand, you know, we have a lot of taxpayers, me included. When I voted for trash, I expected those
Oh, yeah.
taxes to
Yeah,
go to
that's
trash.
exactly right. I mean,
And I'm not the only one, and a lot of people will not vote for overrides and stuff because sometimes that money that they vote for doesn't go to where we
The
voted.
credibility of the board of selectmen has been compromised.
Well,
Let's
the
just say
problem
truth.
is that the first year of an override goes for what it was specifically intended to. After that, it's up for
It's-
But
grabs.
what
By the
happened to
general.
the 800,000? We
Well,
voted,
there's a
and
question,
then
isn't
it just, but it didn't go to trash that year.
No, no.
So if what you're
No.
saying is it was supposed to go to trash for the first
For the
year,
first year.
but what happened when we
But-
voted, it never went to trash.
No, for the first year of an override.
Right.
So the override was back when? I
Yeah,
mean,
years-
years ago.
For that-
Okay.
for that-
So only the first year, and then it can go to the general fund and be used for whatever.
Yeah, in that
Okay.
time
See,
frame.
but people don't understand that.
No.
Like,
No,
I
they
don't, and
I
I
don't
don't,
I didn't
understand how that
understand.
I
it
didn't
until I worked
But
here
I
and
think
dealt
that's
with it.
part of the strategy of the ruling class, is they don't want you to know exactly what.
anyways, we're getting up.
Yeah, okay.
So I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
How are you covering the elections this year? Because
Oh, yeah. the
it's
original.
right down to one election, what I see in the numbers.
So there's $20,000 in the special town meeting warrant article for elections.
So, okay,
So they're gonna,
all right.
Is that number in here anywhere?
not,
In the,
It's not in here, but it'll be on the warrant.
Yeah, it's on the
No, but-
warrant, but he said this is a balanced budget. He just put a $20,000 out of balance.
no,
No.
what he's.
Well,
gonna do
if it
is
gets
take-
voted down, then
Right, it's free cash.
That's
So we're
okay.
taking money from free
Oh,
cash
okay.
and putting it into a special town meeting article.
Right.
which there's $8,000 in.
That already exists, because we set it up years ago, when Eric was here, we tried to set it up so that you have a more
Right.
even keel
Right.
year-over-year elections budget and put money into that special election fund.
This year, there's 3 required elections. Next year, there might only be 2. I mean, that's, you know,
Yeah.
that's something the town clerk would know. How often do you need the required
I did the
election?
math, yeah, it's kind of like
so
the
there's
required
3 next
election.
year, the following year, there will be 2.
2, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next year after
Okay,
that will be 3, because it's a presidential.
But
Right,
big
so you get
ones.
the March, yeah,
I mean, that's another issue.
and the early voting.
The unfunded mandates.
Yes.
Maybe not be any election.
All that money,
I
the
know.
money.
I know.
Let's
Money we're
not like,
talking about is going in this year's budget, FY 26, and that's why you
Or
don't see
maybe it
it.
will be all
Yeah,
back to
like
one
some-
day.
Thank you.
That would be nice.
Either show up and
vote or you don't go at all. Exactly. Yeah.
What a thought.
Yes.
Imagine that. Oh, inconvenience people.
Oh my goodness,
All right.
but we did it for how many years?
like,
Yeah,
100.
yeah, at least.
What time is it?
It's almost
late.
9.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jerry, you phone doesn't need things. I'm late this week and I know, I can't. And I'm gonna sleep tonight. I know, I can't wait.
Going to the fun?
Going away for months.
Ooh, all right. Enjoy.
I will. I find it.
I would like to leave early. I leave it better.
What are we doing? Okay, so
I don't know where we are. Where was?
we were down on the tax levy. Oh, I'm going through the budget.
You're going
You know,
through the-
yeah, I hadn't really seen,
Yeah, and
um,
so is there gonna be any ARPA money in the budget to fund any line here? So,
there's a lot of money, but isn't it all gone?
There's about $93,000 in that special town meeting warrant article.
Yeah.
Warrant article number 4 is looking for about $53,500 to retro pay the police officers and get them up
Oh,
to,
and 54,000.
right, which was gonna get them up to February 19th. We had the other town meeting and then it had to be postponed. Now there's, we're gonna owe a little bit more now, and I break that down in the PowerPoint. So that'll take, let's say it's 94,000, we're gonna take 54,000 away, leaves us with about $40-ish thousand. The select board voted to make the library staff whole for the year because they did not take a raise on July 1st of 2026, or 2025, sorry, when the union were getting a raise. So we're gonna retro pay the library staff about $13,000 to make them whole for the year. And then your other non-union staff, so when I was previously your housing administrator and grant administrator, the town gave me a raise from July 1 to 9/1, and then it was stopped. And we weren't told that it was stopped, that the paycheck just changed. And then those non-union staff have gone without a raise. So we're gonna make them whole for 9/1 to 3/1 and using ARPA funds. We're also using $1,500 of that ARPA funds for your treasure collector to be the audit expert for the town. We're also using $3,000, $6,000 for our highway superintendent for snow and ice overtime wages. So that's $6K there. Leaves you with around $10-ish thousand left in ARPA money for, it's explicitly for wages only. We haven't found a spot for that to be spent yet, and we have until December 31st of 2026 to allocate those funds.
I'm sure you could figure out a way to spend them.
I'm pretty creative, so.
Yeah.
But, it's truly for non-reoccurring expenses, would I advocate for the other non-union staff to be made whole for the rest of the year? Probably. But it doesn't get, that's probably another $3,000. Because what happened to those folks isn't really fair when you shake it all out, when your union ended up getting the raise.
Yeah.
And again, I was one of them for a little while, like I didn't get they stopped the extra $50 a paycheck was stopped. There's a lot of cemetery and parks, there's a lot of staff that haven't said anything because of that. Oh, food for thought.
Well, if this is the budget, I mean, why are we, and that's it, what are we sitting around for?
So I will email the one without using free cash, that's on. Has some more cuts in it, but it's not using any free cash. Other than snow and ice.
and it's just so that everybody knows, the reserve fund is cut to 30,000 for next year.
Yeah, you've only gone over $20,000 twice in the last 5 years using that fund.
Yeah, that's
You average about $18,296 a year in expenses for that.
And
How it's
again,
sloshing around.
used versus, I just did the summary and I pulled it up. Those are my 4 years that I had.
Okay.
For what we had, I'll forward individual tabs for by year.
Yeah, I got it from Cedar, so she gave me the rundown for
Right,
the last 5
But
years.
this was what was approved. If they didn't enter them, it's kind of like we could have a little difference.
Yeah.
Again, the average is the 26 one.
What do you typically use it for? She didn't explain how it was used, she just gave me the rundown and everything.
Fund transfers, right?
For,
The reserve fund transfers should be for emergencies unplanned,
Right, like-
but not underfunded. So when we did the transfers for the maintenance, the ceiling fall,
Yeah.
that really should have been building maintenance. That was an underfunded budget. It shouldn't have come out of reserve fund. It's kind of like the reserve fund is supposed to be totally
Like an extra election, because I've used it for that,
Yeah,
for the shortfall for an extra election that we didn't know.
Right. That was before we had the extra.
Right, that was before we got.
We might have an extra election this year.
But that's what the 28,000 transfer.
from free cash would be.
From free cash would be for. So. And again, that has to be looked at and replenished. When we're on free cash and accounts, we have one that we reimburse people that have to pay or injured on the job, and we
Workers' comp, that's in.
not a workman's comp. We have a special account and it's down $2,000.
Okay,
That I wanted to look at this year and say, do we need an article, bring it back up to 5,000?
okay.
But when I get the BBA, I'll look at it. It's kind of like I have it in a couple of other places.
Yeah.
I went back in history because we set up Conservation Commission, asked for $5,000 into one of those special accounts to do training.
Yeah, never been touched.
Never been touched.
Yeah.
That's something we want to, bring back.
Yeah.
Reallocate. Maybe that's what we
Move it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or drop it in, it's a little money there if they do want to do the training. And it's not taking training, it was supposed to be giving training to.
New members, right?
community.
Yeah.
About, what conservation is and what they do and when.
Yeah, there's a warrant article placeholder for reshifting monies around from unspent articles, past articles, so
Yeah.
we can sort of massage that as we need,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, lots of little things that got bolted away at different times.
Yeah.
And to lose track of them, I think.
Yeah, that's what capital planning was reviewing some of those, because there was a handful of other ones, there was, $29,000 for sidewalks.
That's
Yeah, the
come
library.
and gone.
The line, yeah.
So, and then I think there was $3,400 for town common sidewalks that was never spent.
Yeah.
Things like that could be moved around to help cover costs along the way, so.
No, I.
Town common sidewalks? On the outside.
The perimeter.
Perimeter, yeah.
Perimeter or the ones that go through.
The ones that go through the middle.
Are fairly new.
they were just done.
Brand
They're
new.
just
Yeah.
done.
I think this was from the perimeter, but it was like
It's gonna
30,
be.
was it 3,400 or 49? It was some number like that, it was just a smidge under 5K, I thought.
They took care of that.
No, this,
They're
town
right.
takes,
What?
I think the town
Right
takes
away.
care of, sidewalks, so don't they, even on 119?
Well, I know on 13, we get the little plow truck.
Oh,
Drive my-
horrible.
Well, that's just town road.
Okay, cause he does the sidewalks, cause I drive the kids to school in the
Been
morning.
doing it, yeah. That whole area will be under construction this summer.
Actually, I wouldn't be walking on the sidewalk because it's not really clean. It's icy.
Yeah, the tough spot.
Yeah, it's,
Not after today, though.
no,
Like
not
Saturday,
enough
so
today, no.
beautiful.
Okay, I know it was kind of quick to move through on the bus, so you can take it home.
Well, are we gonna have a meeting on Saturday or not?
I guess up to you. I don't know if
What are we gonna do?
It's a balanced budget, so.
The reason for the meeting is to
We can-
balance the budget.
we put in another,
The reason for the finance committee was to review what the budget was, and make
and make a
recommendations.
recommendation. So I think,
So, I mean, are we like not doing that?
no, I think we need to do it. We need to continue to meet it because this is, first time we're really seeing the full budget.
Well, if we're not gonna talk to the department heads. Are they coming in at all? No,
I would rather I come in rather than,
they.
because then I owe them time.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but then we can't hear from them and
Yeah,
their
no,
feelings on
no, guys. I think we should go directly to them. I don't like this third party, because there's interpretation. You know, misinterpretation, interpretation. If we're not gonna meet with the department heads, I don't see how we're doing our job.
Didn't you guys meet with them when you had the department head request budgets?
Not all of them, no.
No, we were.
No, because
we
when they were told to.
They're
Right,
gonna
we were
be
told
in
not to-
omnibus.
Not to
Yeah,
invite them
budget,
in, they,
whatever
we
the-
just
yeah.
made them aware that we were reviewing their budgets. Kind of like,
I mean, we had them before, last year we did, we
Yeah,
met
right.
with everybody.
Well, we didn't meet with everybody, but we met with quite a few.
Yeah, we didn't meet with everybody. I mean, we didn't meet with recreation. We didn't meet with highway. Did we meet with those guys this year? We met with
No.
Vicky?
yeah, Vicky
Did we meet with you?
Harrison came.
No,
Mhm.
Garrison
That
came,
could be
Vicky.
capital. Well, that was capital.
Yeah, that was capital. I think we only met with Melissa.
Yeah, that's the,
Yeah.
I
it's
don't know
hard
if
to
we met
keep
with
them all straight.
Melissa. We did not meet with Melissa.
No, we didn't.
No, and I really wanted to meet with her because I want to know about that purging of the accounts that she talked about last year.
So did that happen this year also for her?
okay, we,
Don't know. She was gonna look at them and,
If you were gonna get back to us.
yeah, yes, but then everything happened, so now we could have brought it up at the meeting if we had a meeting with her. Because that was found money. Am I the only one who remembers this?
No, I remember.
I kind of remember now that you're saying that. Actually, now that you said that, did we ever go to the state for the found money and get the
yeah,
money back
they,
from the state?
they at least got one out of
Well,
the
what,
three.
what she meant by found money was like a council.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I know,
it's
it-
what- yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
That-
I thought I
that's it,
got-
But I was, but that triggered that we had found money on the mess.
Oh, yeah, it's gone, it's like.
I met money.
It's like a Powerball, I want a Powerball.
Look, the town was on fund mass money, so why not go for it?
The town was on it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Don
was-
Don found it or
Yeah,
something.
it
How much was it?
There wasn't a lot, but there was about $5,000.
That's a number.
That's a
number.
You know, it's so,
It's something.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at, so.
yeah, no, it's kind of like, so the, treasurer went at it, but nobody really had an official, you know, as part of your, you know, annually go look for anything, no procedures, no. But, you know, I was in there looking for something and I just put in Townsend and all of a sudden, you know.
I think it was looking to see if her name was on it.
You can do it too.
I would have been there, I feel like $500 a year.
You're always hoping.
And actually, I went to the Big E like 2 years ago and they had the mass state, you know,
Yep.
whatever, and they had somebody there from Find Money.
Yeah.
And I just jokingly went up and said, find me some money.
Yeah.
He said, what's your name? Pointed my name. He goes, yep.
I know.
I had three, I guess there was three, I mean, it was all total, there was three different whatevers, but I got like $300.
I was feeling like a cup of coffee, so.
I mean, I filed the paperwork, he gave me the paperwork, he says, here, file the paperwork.
Yeah.
I did, yeah,
Yep, it's.
and I was joking when I went in there.
Yeah, you never know.
So, yeah, so I guess from now on, I'll be typing in Townsend
Yeah,
and see if I
but
can.
that's the thing, if you don't put in the name, you can just put in a location and like things come back. And it's kind of like, and I happen to see it, I'm just like,
I guess I would never have thought about
Yeah.
a town being on the,
you wanna see Grattan's list. It's kind of,
So when are we meeting again?
I wanna meet with the select board and myself on Tuesday night, and I'll present a non-free cash budget to you.
You know, maybe.
okay, which would be the 17th?
Yes, sir, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Bring your green.
bring green.
No, just bring your beer.
There you go.
You can do that too.
You could bring green beer.
No, round.
It's just classic Guinness, call it a day.
Yes, sir.
No, Smith.
Or Smith, my father would be Smittick, so Killian's Irish Red.
Yeah.
Killian's Island.
Killian's,
That's what I like. I love
used to steal that from him in high school.
That's the only, yeah, that's the one.
No, I like the thickness of the stout.
Okay.
Yeah, what I
That's
got my
the case.
keys on with the.
And again, unfortunately, I thought I had updated the agenda, but so I didn't get to the school bus, or the
for, senior center.
Oh, all right, okay.
Friday, so kind of like. So that's gonna be on our next meeting. Bring them in,
Okay.
yeah, or maybe even.
Are you gonna bring the motion to the select board about the hiring?
Yeah, for,
Okay.
that we voted today for.
Yeah, make sure to get to that lab.
Yeah.
Because that's very important.
Yep.
Yeah.
So next Tuesday for everybody,
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, I can do it.
6 o'clock for.
Yep.
Our meeting.
Just send me the link.
Oh,
I'll
right,
send you a link.
oh, right, oh, right,
I
right.
wanna see you on a beach,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
hanging out,
yeah.
I was gonna say, you can get your.
playing
background.
cards maybe. like-
Terry went away.
Highlight, depending on the highlight.
Yeah, highlight, whatever.
Last
Okay.
time Kathy called me, I was on a cruise.
Did you win the election?
No, I couldn't, but.
So
So
that being the case, we'll set the agenda,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, 17th at
6 o'clock.
At 6, good.
Yeah.
To get out.
If you find that there are like department heads, do you want me to link you into, or if you feel like there's unanswered questions, I'm happy to bring that together somehow, or you can call them, you could call, treasure collector and say, hey, can I come in and sit with you for a half hour to understand this question? I think Monday through Friday, my fear was I was gonna owe everyone comp time.
Yeah.
Or, like there's.
Yeah. I get that.
And
That
sometimes,
should be part of their job, they get paid for it.
Yeah.
They get paid.
but people don't get paid to come in on a Saturday. I do, but.
extra day on.
Yeah.
So,
Not extra money.
that was my advocacy for staff, so.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
9:08 PM,
At what time?
9:08.
9:08.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, we stand adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.